Here's the story of a lovely lady who was bringing up three very lovely...
Man, thank goodness. Unwrecked.
Hex is complete. How you going out there? You guys in YouTube land, it's the Hex Late Show. And I'm the uNrekt Pyrate, and we're into the conversation tonight. Complete, immutable, 100% uptime, and no off switch. Hex has no middlemen, no roadmaps, no promises. You're in control and you're in charge. You mint your own staking rewards without having to lend your coin away. Hex offers decentralized and secure on-chain trading, no counterparty risk, no sign-up. Hex incentivizes honesty and transparency over its locked future market supply. Hex has 2 independent security audits and 1 independent economics audit. Hex is censorship resistant and robust by being decentralized on the blockchain. Hex is fast, safe, efficient, energy efficient, and largely uncorrelated in other investments. All right. And we're into it.
What's going on? It's
Oh,
the
mate.
Stig. It's the Unwrecked Stig.
What do you think of that?
That was awesome, mate. That was bloody awesome.
Can't hear you.
How are you, Unwrecked? What's happening, dude? What's happening? We got a show this week. What a show that we have this week. Hey, we've got some great guests on tonight. We've got bitch slaps, we've got bitch tits, we've got hexagon legends. We've also potentially got world championship caliber strikers. Potentially. We'll see what happens. But while we're seeing what happens, why don't we bring up what's going on, Mr. Bluey?
Safety first, Unwrecked. How you going, guys?
Hey,
What's happening?
what's going on?
Yeah.
I'm outside the
What's going on,
spaceship.
Sammy?
Land and sea.
Hey,
Mayo
Coming to you
and
on the
Mr. Tangent.
Hey,
World Wide
Tangent,
Web across the
what's
Discourse
up?
Syndicate. We got Mr. Tangent. Hey, everyone, Mayo. Hey, boys.
What's
And
going on?
girls. And Sammy. Oh,
What's
mate.
going on?
So let's
I'm loving you. I'm loving your
address-
commitment to
let's address
that whole
the
thing,
most
Sammy. That's
important
awesome.
thing going on in the world right now.
The
Will
old
Smith.
Hex.
Will Smith.
The beach slap.
The beach slap. What a waste of time, eh? What a waste of time that is.
Here's Mr. Jexxa.
news.
A lot of
Hey,
conjecture.
oh, look at this.
A lot of
Hey,
conjecture
we've got-
about
hang on,
its
hang on.
fakeness, isn't there?
Hey,
Oh,
we got
wait a
look
second.
at that.
Wait a second.
No, look at that. We got. Here he is.
Hey,
Oh, champ.
Jake, how's it
Hey,
going?
boy.
Mr. Jake Lund, how are you, sir?
Awesome.
Thanks for coming on. That's a bit of a surprise. We only found out of it a few minutes ago. How you going, mate? How are you going after what has it been? It's been about a week and a half since your fight.
Can we hear him? I don't think we can hear him.
Oh no, we can't hear you on mute.
Now we're going with an audio issue. Hope everyone's going great out there. Hopefully we get the audio going with Jakey, because what a fight! How good's he going? What a fighter!
Yeah, congrats on the win.
Champion.
Actually, he'd be an expert on
Really
whether that was
enjoy that. Hey, we're
real
waiting for the
slap
next
or not.
one. It is, because you can't beat the
Good
big
point,
slap after
Bluey.
that. Man, that's like get on that.
So let me just just while Jake's getting his microphone sorted, you might have to put on some headphones if you've got them, mate. So Jake fought a week and a half ago on the Rise Championship card. He was the headline. He was the main event, and Discourse Syndicate and the Hex Late Show sponsored Jake. So he's got some nice stakes in his staker wallet, which are going to look after him in the coming years. And but just speaking on the fight, Mayo, can you maybe speak on the fight a little bit just while Jake gets his mic sorted?
Yeah, it looks like he's struggling there. You got
Press a little-
Technology. This is live technology. It's technology.
Press
like
the,
so- and
Press the cog, Jake, on the right-hand side. And then... Oh, maybe it's something else. Eh?
Oh, he's having a go.
Or is the microphone on the left-hand side? Press that, maybe.
Hey Mayo, maybe you want to jump on a call with him offline and talk him through it.
Yeah, okay.
Hang on. There we go. Hang on. There we go.
Oh, is that you?
Jake? That sounded all right, Jake.
No.
Unless someone else must have knocked their mic.
All right. Okay.
Oi, day 43. Do you remember when people used to prank each other on the net? You'd pretend to give someone tech support and then you give them a shortcut, like a keyboard shortcut command that would shut the window. So if they were having trouble with something, you'd be like, yeah, man, just hit like Control F4 and they'd do it and it would just shut the whole thing down. Like nerd pranks. Do you remember that shit?
Nerd trolling. I actually don't remember that shit, man. I don't remember it. So
that was like a common IRC prank.
I love it. I love it.
Can we go? I don't know. Can we talk? If maybe Chuck is in the backstage for a second. I'll try to help him out.
Yeah, Mayo, why don't you like grab your phone or something and give him a call on your phone and try and work it out and yeah.
Hey, Bloobum, how's things going over there?
Yeah, man, it's early.
Impressive
Yeah.
that
I
you've
just
made
woke
these
up.
streams every time, man. Very impressive. I
Yeah.
didn't expect you to be
I'm
making
way
them every
impressed.
time.
Yeah, I had a thought about it tonight or this morning. I was like lying in bed going, oh, but no, I like it. I want to do it. I want
Team player.
the yeah.
So
discipline.
Bluey,
What are you
when
doing
I
over
go
there?
to Italy in a few months, whenever it is, we'll do a stream. We'll do another Hex stream at another time during the day when it's like good for you and me. Like everyone else will be sleeping.
You're like,
maybe
fuck
Tangent will
that
be
shit.
awake.
I'm not getting up early.
where's
Maybe
this is
Tangent will
like-
be awake.
this is like
Everyone else will be
it's like
sleeping.
one. Like, what are you talking about?
So we'll do something
We're
else.
on a banana bender time, are we? We're on the, like, you know.
So what was
around
that
the
joke?
sun?
Did you guys hear that joke? Unwrecked, did you hear the joke? The
Been
did you-
many. Yeah. Which one?
the Will Smith one. You know.
Oh
you-
yeah.
yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah,
What is
the
it?
joke is that it's was some sort of
The joke, or no, the
the
joke
stage.
was, what was it? A tangent. What was the dad joke that I told before?
Oh, what got left on Chris Rock's face? Fresh Prince.
Fresh Prince. Yeah.
But spelt Prince like fingerprints, but
Yeah.
pronounced Prince.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's-
Well,
yeah. I think it was actually real. I mean,
I
not
think
that
it was
we want
real.
to get into it.
Yeah,
I
it
think
was
it's real.
absolutely real. Couldn't fake that.
I reckon it was real.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I reckon this is real too. It's the Richard Hart 555
Oh, you got it.
diamond.
Are you the vault?
yeah.
You're the vault unwrecked.
He wanted me to, like, he sent it to me and requested that I turn it into like a monk's butt plug or something, or a female sex toy.
He chose the right man for the job.
He did.
So I'm still working out how. I'm still getting my craftsman to examine that.
So which are you using it
Yeah,
as?
So here's a piece of
yeah.
Plug
wood
or the
as well.
sex toy?
Petrified.
Nice t-shirt.
What's going on? I come here. Where's Jake? I come here wearing a shirt. What's going
He's in
on?
the back doing with tech
here he is.
issues.
Make issues.
How are we all going? I thought I got
Good.
dressed up for nothing.
How are you?
Yeah, you're going all right. I totally forgot about the stream tonight, guys. I seen Sammy Tickers. tweet.
Come on, man. Come on, dude.
Is that because you didn't know what day of the week it is? Because that's what happens to me sometimes.
I've been on like Zooms and streams just constantly, not public ones, but yeah, just working with the team and just went for a little bit of downtime and I totally forgot about it. So sorry about that.
Hey, day 43. While we wait, can you hit me up this? You put the name Patrice ONeill into my chat when I was streaming earlier today. Well, can you elaborate, please?
Oh, because people were talking about like very funny comedians.
Okay.
And so I know at one point you were talking about it, but a lot of the time in the afternoon when you stream, it's like my afternoon time. So I might catch you for 5 minutes and then my kids will want me to do something. So I'll miss like out on 20 minutes and then I'll come back. But I heard you talking about it. But that guy in like, if you go back and listen to some of the best comedians like in last 10 years, they all think Patrice ONeill is one of the funniest dudes ever.
Oh, so he's the comedian's comedian. Like he's
yeah. So he's got like one big special. The guy's died, by the way. The guy like passed away like a few years back. But he's got like a special, and the special's awesome. But like, what's even more awesome are the outtakes from the special that they just couldn't put in the special, where he's just like he's just some stuff in that special is so funny, dude. I laugh so hard. I've seen them like 3 or 4 times, 5, 6 times. I still laugh hard every time I see them. He's hilarious to me. That guy's hilarious.
I will dedicate some time to catching up because I've seen none of his work.
Yeah. Definitely watch you want to see his special called Elephant in the Room. That's like was his main special. But if you just go on YouTube, you'll see a whole ton of his clips on there.
Cool.
No, he didn't. No, the guy didn't die of the Android 19. By the way, he died of I think he had like diabetes or something. Yeah. So that's for the chat. They're just saying, did he die? Did he die of the flu?
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, every time I hear about a celebrity or a sports personality hitting the
can we not talk about? Can we talk about?
Yeah.
Can we talk about crypto because not a little. What do you call it? A liquid shit coins.
Yeah. Punch it.
You know. That's so. If you're wondering why it's maybe I don't know anything because it's just like PulseChain. We're all excited about what the prospects of that being built out, and then they've got to sort out all these sacrifice sets and that. Hey,
yeah, but I want to know what Tangent was going to say, bro.
Have you guys? No, that's fine.
You cut Tangent off. I wanted to know.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Just the question mark that is over any time you hear about a celebrity or a sporting personality getting ended.
Yeah.
So what's it?
No, I was super
sacrifice
unhealthy,
addresses. Have they fixed that shit yet? Has anyone come up with a theory as to why the shit was wrong in the first place?
Yeah, so I don't know if you've been paying attention. There is a tool out that is not public yet that does a really good job at
estimating
fixing all those errors. Yeah. Or it's not estimating. It will be the.
And is Richard aware of it?
Yeah. So Richard posted a tweet saying expect something soon, but I've actually the guy developing it has asked not to send it out, but I just went back and forth and checked my address, and because mine was incorrect, like most people's were, went and checked it all, and we've gone back and forth, and now it seems to a point where I'd be happy with the. Like it's not exactly what we'd predicted, but what I predicted, but it's close.
Do you think there's a likelihood that the people who's are most likely to be incorrect or have the largest discrepancies would be the ones that were not on the main networks? Like, I just want you to give me like hopefully some peace of mind that if you were basically sacking on the ETH network, that you don't have to worry as much about it being wrong. or is
No,
it
so
they were all wrong?
All of my sacrifice was done on the ETH network, so it was out. But now it's fine. And I think there was still a few issues with the alternate chains.
But someone
all
suggested
edged,
that the reason why the balances were out compared to the early estimations were that those early estimations didn't include the other chains. So other people's, as they slotted in above you, your multiplier got pushed down. So that, like, effectively saying it shouldn't have matched the initial estimates.
Possibly, I don't know all the specifics behind it. All I know is the tool that's coming out that everyone's going to be able to play with is really good. Makes it nice and easy to see. So,
okay. I guess for me, and I'm sure this sentiment would be shared among most of the community, is that as long as you're getting, like, as long as you're not getting 0 coins and that it's like, in relatively speaking, it's distributed correctly.
As long as look, if everyone was out by 10%, and I'm not saying
then it's fine. Then it's
fine because
it's fair.
Maybe that
fair.
Yeah.
As long as Richard's also down by 10, like as in, as in everyone.
No, his will be up by 10.
Yeah. No, I've seen it, and to me it looks.
I'm joking.
good,
I'm joking. It will be.
It's funny when you miss a decimal point, isn't it? You're looking at your math, outside gains, and you're like 1 decimal point out.
You are dealing with silly numbers now, and it's easy to stuff numbers.
Can we see if
Mic
we
check,
can
mic
hear
check.
Jake? Yeah, can we hear Jake at all? Jake, are you there? I think we're having some issues with the connection. The best browser to use with Restream is Chrome. If you've got Chrome browser, that is the best one to use. Speaking on Chrome browser, make sure you've updated your Chrome browser. Make sure you've updated. Who's that?
Is that?
Is that Mayo?
No, nothing.
Okay. All right. Well, look, maybe we can organise something. Microsoft Edge. I'm just going to mute you, Mayo, mate, for the time being.
Yeah, fuck Microsoft Edge.
So, guys, make sure you've updated all your browsers. Because there was a 0-day vulnerability on Chrome, and it also extends to Brave browser, Microsoft Edge. Update all of your browsers.
What does 0-day? What does 0-day actually mean? Like, it sounds pretty ominous.
0-day just means that it's a vulnerability that
if that was
no one has discovered it yet. So it's a vulnerability that no one knows about yet. Only the hackers know about it. So 0 days to prepare for it, basically.
So how do they know that?
Because the hackers know about it.
Okay.
So the hackers have worked out like that this vulnerability.
So how do they know that if it's 0-day? How do they know that the hackers would know?
As in, they just found out.
They just found out.
Okay.
They are now just aware.
That's more like 0.0001 day.
Okay,
we're rounding, bro.
Louis, shoot a hole through our shit once again. That's why we have you here, man.
Hey guys,
that's why we have you chime in from the US.
It must be.
Let's say
it must be getting pretty close.
It was a 0-day exploit. Yeah. Like, so at some point it was a 0-day.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's potentially many things, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah. Finbear put it better than me. They've had 0 days to fix it.
Right. Yeah.
Since it came out.
And we must be getting pretty close to the launch of Pulse, isn't it? Like, if he is
massively, yes.
Like, it's
Richard himself said there's only 2 things left: sacrifice balances and the
AMM
bot. And the bot the bot's done, he just wants to expand it slightly. So it's not like they have to do it from scratch. It's just he wants to make it even more pervasive throughout the liquidity pools that exist.
Yeah.
And so you could make the same argument for the sacrifice balance as well. They're already done. They just need to be tweaked.
They're just actively tinkering with that.
Exactly. Yeah, so both of them are nearly done. And the
AMM bots, they have the V2. It's just whether they can work out what to do with the V3 and the other pools, hey?
And he made the comment that they wouldn't allow it to hold up launch, which means I'm assuming that if they get the SAC balances fixed, if that's the SAC balances fixed is kind of like the deadline for them to try and get the bot working like fully. And then if the SAC balances get finished first, then it's F the bot going launch style.
Let's just do it. Yeah.
Do it. Pull the trigger.
Going live. Do it. What happened, Mayo? Did you get
'Cause,
any?
you know-
We didn't get anywhere, hey?
Yeah, no good. I'm gonna have to give him a hand to set it up another time.
Was
So,
that
guys,
from a
what
phone
we're
or
gonna
that was
do-
doing?
Sorry, Jexxa, you go.
Yeah, was that using his phone or was from a PC?
Both tried on his laptop, and I think that's when you heard him lagging in and out, cutting in and out.
Yeah.
I don't think it can
Yeah.
handle it on the laptop,
So-
and then
Yeah,
the
he's
phone's
obviously got a
not
shitty
loading.
internet connection.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we apologise to the audience for that. Unfortunately, we're not going to have Jake on just due to technical issues. However,
Oh,
we do have a backup plan, luckily. So part of Jake's sponsorship was to get a staker wallet. Well, he got a brand new phone, an iPhone 13, and he also got a staker wallet. And inside that staker wallet, he's got some stakes. So what we are going to do is we're going to bring up a staker wallet on screen, and we're going to have a look at the beauty that resides within. So bear with me 1 second while I get this up and running. We're almost there.
And while you're doing that, Bluey, can you just explain your moustache?
you know what? I will explain.
Yeah.
So I wanted to have a haircut, right? And I'm in Miami, right? But I booked myself for this Airbnb in Little Haiti, and it's kind of like being in a third world country, actually. Like it's pretty interesting, and I was like, I actually quite like it.
Miami,
I
like
went along
Miami
to-
Vice.
Yeah, but I'm in like a dodgy part of town, like fully, like it is like third world country here. Like
I wouldn't
fully
expect
third
any
world
more from you.
country.
Like, good on you.
And
Everyone's like trying to get out. Everyone that's like all these high net worth individuals are trying to get out of America, and you're like the opposite, trying to get in
I'm
there.
like,
why?
that's it, mate. Yeah. And so I went
Like
along
JFK
to
666 comment.
what did you say?
If anyone's familiar
Oh,
with
yeah.
JFK 666, he
I got nothing
has
on here,
the
mate.
moustache of moustaches, the king of all moustaches.
But so like I wanted to get a haircut, and so I went along to like this like fully traditional like barbershop, like American barbershop, you know, where it's all guys there, and no one spoke any English, and like I basically went over to a poster and pointed to what the haircut that I wanted. And it was amazing. It was such an awesome hair. Like it was like he had all these different clippers, and he's like going in between one clipper and the other clipper and stuff like that. And he's just doing all this stuff, and like, so between my French, which is not too bad, but he was like Haitian old guy kind of French. This is what I got. Yeah.
Nice.
That's very good.
Hey guys, we have we've got a staker wallet here.
Look at that. Jeez, he got in.
So
there.
have a look.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. Hey, look at that.
Have a look
So
at
he
that.
got in early.
So
So
who wants to tell
that's
the
like, wow, good work.
Jexxa, do you want to maybe speak to what we're seeing here in this staker wallet?
I'm trying to think what the starting balance was on that, but it's we've got a good
It's going
duration
up.
there. So
Yeah, look
I
at
think
it.
we set Jake up
Double.
with a 1 year, 5 year,
we'll
and a
go-
10-year stake.
Go
Yeah,
have a look at them.
6.66666.
Yeah. So what have we accrued already? So he's only just the interest is only just sneaking up, but the growth on that amount over these couple of weeks has obviously been pretty healthy for Jake. He timed it well. He got his stakes in at the 10-cent mark, I think it was. So he'd be pretty happy. That's not bad for a couple of weeks' work.
And a little bit of liquid there.
Yeah.
Yep. He's got 3 stakes, all of 15,000 hex per stake, right? And so the first stake, which expires in approximately 1 year, is 855 billion shares, or B shares, 855 B shares for 365 days. And so this sort of demonstrates where the bonuses come in. I've seen a lot of questions about how the bonuses in Hex work. The bonuses work according to how like mainly for people like at our levels who are getting in relation to how much time you stake for. So as you can see, a 1 year stake was 855 billion shares. The same amount staked for 5 years is 1.43 trillion shares. And the same amount, 15,000 hex staked for 10 years is 2.14 trillion shares. So you can see just how much it ramps up the longer you stake. Big props to Jake. I think that he's going to look back and say, I'm so glad I've got a mate like Mayo who pushed me to do this, in a few years' time.
Have a look at the interest, mate. So all those stakes were done exact same day, exact same amount. The last one's earned $40 already. And this is only a couple of weeks old, I think. What's the top one?
They'll be less. Yep. 16.
So less than half. Less than half the amount.
So for the life of that stake, it's going to be getting
almost a third of the amount.
Yep.
So how much all up? He's what is it? 40 plus 27 plus 16, whatever that is. That's 67, 77, 83, about 84 bucks US. So well over $100 accrued in interest over the last couple of weeks. Not too bad, hey? Not too bad at all.
Yep.
So yeah,
and I think we had a couple of good payout days as well, Matt, didn't we?
Staking
we've had a few.
Staking is good.
Did you guys see this staker show? I think it was yesterday or the day before. He was showing some of the new screenshots of the new version 2 staker app.
Yeah, I saw those. Yeah, I saw those. I didn't see the show, but I saw those. Whatchamacallit?
Screenshots.
Those screenshots of the staker. Yeah, the new staker. Yeah.
Hey, is Steph waiting for? Is he waiting for Pulse to come out before he releases version 2? Do you think?
No, they've got to do testing. I think that's what it is.
How was the test?
They're testing now on the testnet?
V2B. How was it? It's really good, isn't it? Front end.
Pretty fast.
Amazing.
What did you ask, Mayo? Sorry.
Do you reckon they're testing? Do you reckon Steph would be testing that now on the testnet on the V2B?
Oh, they'll get alpha testers and beta testers and all of that. They'll get some. Last time they got a few members of the community, and we were all kind of like making stakes and stuff and just testing it all out. They, just refining.
There was no shortage of volunteers.
Alpha beta. I was on the beta testing for that. I think you were Bluey. You were in there too. Like you've always really quite get stuck into it, don't you? So it's good. Interesting.
Yeah, why not?
Very, very interesting stuff.
Yeah,
what's going
the one
on?
good thing about this community is everyone rolls up their sleeves and jumps straight onto new things and puts them through their paces and wants to tinker with things and give advice on what can be fixed. So yeah, every time we come up with a new tool, whether it was Uniswap or whatever, everyone's just all over it like a rash. Matic, everyone jumps on it and gives it a go.
It's true.
Yeah. So, and we always say this: the Hexicans are probably leading the charge in terms of knowledge in the space and using actual DeFi. Now, there's obviously there's a fair swag of other people in the space that play on all the other chains and everything. But I would hazard a guess to say everyone in crypto, that's probably a very small percentage of the total amount of crypto users that are actually using the actual protocols and tinkering with everything.
As far as a community, we really go out and test. We really do go out and test things as a community, and we're talking about it. We're tweeting about it. Have you tried?
It's really the best way. It's really the best way to learn, isn't it? Like just that practical,
Absolutely.
Get your hands dirty. Get in there. So V2B is like, or whatever. It's pretty fast, isn't it? It's lickety splits.
But it hasn't. It's only like 12% indexed at the moment on the Block Explorer, right? So if you
I haven't checked recently, but it's going to take a while to catch up, isn't it? But that doesn't stop. That doesn't stop transactions going through or anything like that.
Can you just explain what that means, OG?
My understanding is that it's just syncing the blockchain. Is that correct? Would you say that's correct, Jexxa? So it hasn't got all the data in. It hasn't got the Block Explorer hasn't got all the data accessible at this point in time because it hasn't synced everything yet.
Yeah, so it's got to index everything and go and read all the data so that you can search for it easily when you go to. Put it this way: if you don't want to search an address and have to wait for it to go and query the blockchain from blocks 2 or 3 years past, it needs to index it so that you can.
Well, it should all be there, like at the touch of, like within seconds, shouldn't it?
If you have it all indexed, yeah.
And so does it take a long time to index the blockchain for it to catch up or something?
There's a lot of data, dude.
Yeah, look, I don't know the technicals behind it, but obviously there's a lot of
But that's the whole point of a blockchain, isn't it? The whole point of a blockchain is that you can access any of it all the time.
Think of it like when we say it's indexing, think of it like an index at the start of a book, so you know where you need to go. Right? If it's not there, how are you going to find what specific bit of information that you're after? So that index,
probably a more accurate thing is how long would it take you to find a bit of information if you didn't have the index? So if you said if Day 43 gave you an encyclopedia and said find this little comment, or how long would it take to filter through all there without having that index to point you where?
The answer is on a blockchain, you'll never fucking find it.
That could be a good thing.
It's like the internet never forgets.
Actually, I saw this tweet where this guy who hands his taxes in America every year, and he does it in paper, and he does it he does all this stuff where he puts the first page at the bottom, and he puts all of his transactions, and he puts them out of order sometimes, and he scribbles on them. And he just does all of this stuff to make it incredibly difficult for the IRS.
Well, you think about it. You're actually you're doing yourself a disservice if you keep pristine records, aren't you? Like if you've got everything nailed down, and then they come and audit you, and you just give them this nice little package, and they can go look through and scan everything, as opposed to here you go, guys. Here's a shoebox full of receipts. Knock yourself out.
Unless you subscribe to the theory that by doing that they'll be pissed off, so they'll be more anal with looking for things to mess you up on.
Nah,
they don't have the time, man. They don't have the time.
I mean,
he was also making them difficult for them to even just scan it and have all of that data in there.
The other counter argument is then the person in charge is not going to do it. They're going to give it to some uni grad, some temp student placement, and be like, here's a box of receipts, put them in date order, just to give them busy work, and then ultimately they're still going to get the same thing as if you'd given it to them clean.
Yeah.
If they do the work,
but also
how many uni interns can they have? Everyone get the shoeboxes out.
So but the thing is, I find having airtight record, really well kept records, benefits you when you need to go back and find something.
Oh yeah.
So you know what I mean?
Yeah. So
it's a disservice to yourself.
So for yourself,
you could do both. You're right. You could do both. You could have nice, clean digital records for yourself, and then do messy hard copy ones for them. Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll share the screen.
I thought everyone kept 2 sets of books.
Yeah. Sometimes 3.
Or 0.
That's why a good bookkeeper is worth his weight in gold. You always need a good bookie.
We like to make jokes.
I think it's a different kind of bookie, isn't it, Unwrecked?
Well, you just got to know which horse is going to win the race. And as I said, there's so much liquid garbage out there in the crypto space. I saw a thing come up on CoinRankings, something like 13,000, 14,000 coins now in the crypto.
You guys want to hear something crazy? I had some assistance with fixing a mining rig of mine, and one of my mining rigs, I couldn't work out what was wrong with it myself. The guy who came to help me fix it said he found there was an online betting site where the way that he was accessing the data of who was winning and losing these Russian table tennis matches was faster to him, the way he was accessing them, than the way that the actual bookkeeper was updating their shit. So for about 20 seconds, he knew who had won while you could still be doing live betting. So you could bet knowing the result and have a guaranteed win on that bet.
Yeah, well,
Insider trading.
This was
well, there you go. Well, that's
it's
what
kind
they
of, it's kind of it's almost like seeing the future using technology, right? Like he just found a way that he had access to the data faster. So it's,
it was an arbitrage.
It's sort of like almost
Like
getting a
an
superpower through technology.
Cheating.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
cheating,
of course.
but
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
That's all
right.
about high frequency
So,
trading.
like-
That's what high frequency trading is. They
that's
literally
that's true.
they need to be as close to the data
Yep.
source as possible. So they'll literally move to the building
building
where
next
all
door.
the data, or
Tunnel
right
through.
in there, yeah. And it comes down to how long your fiber optic cable is, so you can be ahead of the game.
Oh,
So this is what
legend. Who's this?
what?
It's just some
Well,
dude. I found it on Twitter.
What?
So
a-
should we-
Oh yes. That looks like Bitcoin Talk org format, like in terms of the background color and that.
I mean, it's someone who's not into taxes, that's for sure.
I print and send the IRS all the documentation about my trades in paper form to stop them from automatizing the process with the computer program.
If everyone
I
did
mix
this,
blank pages, double print,
if
ghost
everyone
print,
did
and mark
this-
right. Yeah.
do you reckon
It's on,
we
whole
it's on my
palette.
Twitter if you want to.
He has to
you
hire
reckon we
someone
could-
to use a forklift.
we could create a
Yeah.
DAO, right? Like we could create a decentralized organization that does this sort of stuff and just absolutely just wrecks the blockchain in terms of just like dusting and just like what's it called when you're trading with zero, like just like spoof trades and just wreck it, just absolutely wreck chain analysis companies.
It's like, it's like if with the tax department, we could just send them a whole copy, like a copy of the whole blockchain in paper form.
How many weeks does it take
it's
to
technically all relevant, right? It's technically all relevant.
It's like we need all
It's
of
part
your
of the
records.
calculation.
You just
It's part of the
roll up, it's like,
calculation.
Here it is.
But actually, I reckon a DAO that does anti-chainalysis tactics, like guerrilla, we could call it guerrilla DAO, like guerrilla warfare, guerrilla DAO. We just absolutely wreck their ability to do it. And then you make it a
Can you
deal.
explain DAO a little bit? You want to explain a DAO a little bit? What does a DAO mean? Because I know there's several DAOs that have been talked about as being like the holy grail.
It's a pretty loose.
It's
It's a pretty loose term for decentralized organization. But then obviously the level of decentralization is it varies a little bit, like how crypto projects all call themselves decentralized. But then when you look at it more deeply, it's a spectrum, right?
So would you compare a DAO to the OA? Would you go is the OA like a DAO or
no, the DAO?
Like, so
We
I
don't
can't think
know-
of, I
we
can't
don't
think of
know
a
what
true
an oracle?
DAO,
It's an
actually.
oracle. The OA is an oracle. Then
I can't actually think of an example of a
We don't know
DAO
what
that I
underpins
believe
the-
is sufficiently decentralized. I don't think one exists. But you guys
So
can
there-
correct me, or
yeah.
people in the chat,
OA could be
fire
a
up
DAO.
if you.
Guys,
Sorry, who?
the OA could be. We don't know what what drives you. We don't know. It could be a DAO.
Oh, it could be a DAO, but I think Unwrecked more
don't
meant is it a good example of a DAO, which it's not,
No,
because
no.
you're saying it's possibly one, but we
Yeah.
don't know, right? So
It's possibly run in that
What-
way. But,
what do you guys think would be the best example of a DAO, like that is legitimately decentralized to some extent? We know that none of them are fully decentralized.
in light of the
Yeah,
scale,
I can't-
Like
I
Like
can't
any
think. I
club.
can't think of one.
any
It's not that they're
club
not
that you-
decentralized. It's just
No,
the
I know,
token-
Bluey. I mean
the
a crypto
token
one, like
holder.
not
Yeah.
like a crypto one, not a real life example.
Tangent. When is the sacrifice? I'm
Well,
in.
Hex is a DAO.
I'm in, bro.
Hex is like a DAO.
Are you
I'm
keen?
in.
Are
I mean,
you
just-
keen? I think this is a
I'm
sick
fucking
idea,
keen, bro. I
And
love
see,
the idea.
This
I'm in.
here's the other thing, right? Like, you know how if any project blows up, people get around it and try and find out more about it. So it would also be a way that you're actually increasing awareness and education of the sorts of tactics that the community and people in crypto in general can all do, and you make it you could make it some kind of thing where you airdrop the tokens to people who are putting their into like mixing pools like Tornado Cash and stuff like that, and you make it like a requirement to be a part of the project, to use those obfuscation techniques and things like that. Like it could be really good, and do like not for profit. Like no one getting rich off it. It's literally like that guy said. It's like
I love the not for profit.
It's literally for the love. It's literally for the it's to get those chain analysis companies to just completely get wrecked, because they are profiting off turning crypto into a surveillance state, and we should just fight back.
Yep. I agree.
Richard would get around it, I reckon. He's all for privacy and stuff. He reckons it's a fundamental human right, so Richard would be all on it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think how you do it. That'd be pretty tricky. But you'd have to
Something else.
I think we'll get Sammy and Richard to get together and have a conference, talk over dinner and about that.
Nice. Here's something else I was just thinking recently. Even though I personally said that I would be upset if Richard launched another new project before finishing and launching PulseChain, I think it would have been good if Richard had created a stablecoin. And even so, a stablecoin, and said, look, this is going to be a stablecoin for PulseChain. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add liquidity, like hardcore amounts of liquidity with all the other stablecoins. So add like liquidity pools using the stablecoins that were sacrificed or whatever to create these like epic dual-sided liquidity pools, so that the shit would just be dead stable, like cannot move. But it's one that all the people who are wanting to get onto Pulse could have confidence that if they want to hold stables, so obviously it would be an Ethereum token, so it would get auto-copied. Do you get what I'm saying? And then everyone could just go, okay, that's the one that we can believe in the most is going to actually carry its value over to PulseChain. And the theoretical backing is Richard providing the liquidity temporarily. He would say, look, temporarily, I'm going to ensure these things don't go off peg, but in the long term, I will pull that shit away so that it's not a security. And in fact, stablecoin can't be a security because it can't go up in value, so you can't profit from it. So you'd be protected from the SEC like that. I think that would have been sick. What do you guys think?
Hey, you know what? I was looking at...
No, separate comments. Sorry, I'm getting excited. Too much caffeine.
That one you said about like we don't buy Lamborghinis, we buy Lamborghini dealerships, mate. I use that on the chicks, mate. It's a cracker. It goes really well.
Wait, do you want a new one? Do you want a new pickup line that's crypto related? You ask girls or guys, what's your scam? What's your scam?
What's your scam?
What's your scam? What's your scam? And then you can run two ways. One, they're like, what the hell? Like, I'm not a scammer and stuff. They get defensive, and then you can turn it into a joke. Or you can explain to them but that what you mean is that you're using the word scam as a replacement, as a synonym for style. What's your style? What are you into? What motivates you? You know, what are you looking for? What are you looking for in a relationship? What's your scam? How are you going to scam me? How are you going to scam me out of life? Like, you know? That's the deal. I'm going to start using it.
How long is it going to take you to get into yeah.
Hey, Tangent. Richard Hart's on stream with Bitcoin Magazine in 5 hours. Did you see that?
What the F? What the actual F?
Yeah. I put the link in the live chat.
What do I do? Should I start preparing now? I'm down.
Put the reminder in the... set your reminder. I just put the link in the chat.
5 hours for me is going to be... That's quite reasonable because it's only 7 o'clock. So... I can't do time math, but you guys are going to be pretty stuffed. You guys are going to be late.
Richard's streaming with Bitcoin Magazine in 5 hours, guys.
I am so glad you told me that, Sammy. I'm so glad you told us that because
you would be, darling.
Because I almost missed the most recent stream because it was on Crypto Face's channel. So, by the way, shout out if anyone hasn't seen Richard's most recent stream from about 2 days ago. It's on Crypto Face YouTube channel. Mm-hmm. And someone on Jim Rat's stream was saying someone should, and someone is planning to do it, create a feed that says all of like Richard's stuff. So whenever Richard does anything anywhere, it goes into that one feed. So you can just follow that feed and then, you know what I mean? Without having
there is.
Crypto ends up in Hex.
There is on Twitter.
Yeah, Hex News.
Hex streamers.
Someone-
Is CryptoFace is
Someone
CryptoFace
said-
like a famous OG
He's
Bitcoiner?
full over there waiting
No.
already. That's
I think he's only. I think I looked. He's only got like 20,000 followers on that CryptoFace
No, he's got
channel.
like 200,000.
Oh,
He's got
was
like
it?
200,000.
Oh, this
Yeah,
had the decimal in the wrong spot again.
yeah. Hey, you know about those USDC coins? Because I was looking at V2B, and it's got a whole lot of those different stable coins, right? And they have to index it from something, so they have to make the assumption, because they're using GraphQL or something like that. They have to make the assumption that all of those are actually worth $1. And so I think that's what like if they're up there, like I've said this before, that people are going to
We keep going through this.
treat it as if it's $1. But the thing
Nah.
is, right?
Yeah. It's a shared illusion
But
anyway, right? So if everyone agrees to make it to treat it as $1, then it works. That's true.
Yeah, but the thing is,
but you can't rely on
it's going to be up on the screen. People are going to see it up on the screen, and those prices are all going to be there as if those are $1.
Tell me when you put when you bridge over all your USDC and put it in a liquidity pool for me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure people will do that. I'm sure he'll probably do that. Someone,
Bro, it's going to
do
be
that
who
really
can
quickly.
exit the. In my opinion, this is.
Hey,
is,
here's
who
another
can
one I've been
exit?
thinking of.
If you've got
Hey, hang on.
USDC and it's worth $1 on this side, it's like get the fuck out of USDC and buy Hex, right? That dude, like, mark my fucking word.
Well, the other thing is,
people
right,
are gonna
if
tip
he
the
doesn't,
fuck out
if he
of
doesn't
USDC
come,
on PulseChain and go into Hex.
yeah.
okay, 43.
fuck out.
How do you
Oh,
game
we
this?
see what's
How do
going
you
on
game
over in
this?
Russia, mate. Like the
Hang
ruby
on.
and the gold. Yeah.
They've actually pegged it to 500 grams to.
So what's going to happen to the US
ruble or something, isn't
dollar?
it? No,
It's,
other way around.
Yeah, they're under
500 rubles.
Yeah, and also then
Go on.
Everyone's going to flee the US dollar. But how about this, right?
Oh,
If he says stuff this, I don't know what to do about version 3 liquidity pools. How do you game that?
You would need an ARB bot. Anyone
No.
with an-
You have to get in there really quickly.
yeah.
I was
so
thinking. You have to get there
you're
really
not going to be able to
quickly.
beat bots.
And
though.
if you've got a big bag of Pulse, you go into the Uni V3 liquidity pools on the other side, and you just start buying, because all of those ERC20s, all of those ERC20s, that ratios are all completely out.
You will get wrecked trying to do it manually. Bots are going to be so much faster than you. Someone with an ARB bot already programmed for Ethereum will deploy that shit on PulseChain, and you will get wrecked. By the time you've even clicked the first button, that shit is going to be done. Like you cannot compete against the speed of these bots. They're ridiculous.
So
they're basically
So you
instant.
think you think someone's going to deploy bots to all of those V3 pools?
It's the same bot.
Why wouldn't the
It's
team
the
just
same
do
bot.
it? Why wouldn't the team just do it first? Why would
What
they
team?
wait? Like the
if you
team
could
who
do
are
it with
deploying
bots,
the
then
AMM
Ooh,
fixable.
If you
good
could do
boy,
it-
43.
you know,
That could be a sneaky little vibe, actually. Like
No, if
Richard and his
he
team could
do it
actually
with
just set
bots-
it up and then be like, oh, whoopsie, it was
But
our
that's the
guys
whole
that
point.
did it.
That's the whole point of the AMM bot.
Yeah, that's what
if
the
he's
bot's supposed
unable
to
to,
do, yeah.
if he's unable to do with the AMM bot, then obviously you can't do it with the bot.
you just do it manually, yeah.
You'd have to do it manually. So you have to go into those V3 pools and basically just start buy. You'll be able to buy like
would you use your
PRC20s
Would you use your pulse
at
to do that,
a
Ray?
millionth of the price.
No, there's a
Would
subtle
you do
difference.
that? I don't
Take
even know
my
that I'd
money.
risk doing it.
I wouldn't risk
Well,
doing it. I'm just
you
like
do it
trying
with
to
your
I'm just, like,
USDC.
gaming it out.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
it's still
I'm
worth
just
a
gaming it
buck.
out. No, you do it with
Yeah.
Pulse. You have to do it with Pulse because it'll be all of those Pulse versus whatever PRC20 thing. So let's say you got Chainlink in a V3 pool, right? But the V2 one is all PulseX AMM bot, so that there'll be that price, and that's at the correct ratio. But in all the V3 pools, the ratio is going to be a millionth of the cost.
Yeah.
Like it's going to be a millionth
Yeah,
of the
it's
price.
going to be hectic. It's going to be hectic.
But
So wouldn't you just go in there and just start?
So my question is, would you waste your pulse on doing that? Because that's a lottery ticket.
I've got no idea. I'm just conjecturing.
I
mean,
would,
I'd probably-
Jexxa.
I think
I'm
you'll
gonna
still
go-
get
I
mean,
smoked. I think you get smoked by bots. I think the bots will
gonna
smoke.
go
What if
get
can you
bots-
get a bot to beat the
bots
bots?
Shitcoin shopping.
A bot beating bot.
Yeah, if you could
Robot
program
No, if the bots work, then he'd be doing it. That'll be the AMM bot.
There's a subtle difference though between just setting up an ARB bot that can be successful and what Richard is trying to do with that AMM bot, because
But it's not an ARB bot.
He needs it to be reasonably accurate. Like he can't just have
where are you arbing between?
V2 and V3 liquidity pools for the same asset pair.
But it's PulseX. It's Uni V3 and PulseX.
It's only on the only pairs are ones that are paired with Pulse. They're the only ones where this ARB is going to exist, because all the other token ratios are going to be correct straight away.
What I'm saying is that the ARB opportunity will between stuff on PulseX, which is the Uni V2 that's been botted, and V3, which hasn't been botted.
Yes. So, like, everyone agrees that ARB opportunity is going to be there, because Richard himself has said that ARB opportunity is going to be there. The only question is are you going to risk doing it? I mean, even just as you go in to do it manually, you're probably going to have sandwich bots mess you up anyway. Like, do you get what I'm saying?
At a millionth of the price, right? You just have to pick up $100 worth, and you've made like
that's a fair call. That's a fair
by
comment.
100.
That's a fair call that it might be worth the risk. Bluey's right. It could be worth the risk of trying to do a manual trade on a small amount, because if you can actually get a million X, you only need to buy $1 worth.
So now you've got
2 million.
The problem is it's going to be very limited as to who can do it, because where's the front end?
Yeah, Etherscan, I suppose.
Where's the liquidity?
Or not Etherscan, whatever the. Do you think they'll have the same one they're using at the moment, or would they use something like Etherscan? Like,
I don't think bots use front ends. Bots don't use front ends. Bots basically would directly interact with the contract.
Bots would do it, yeah.
So it's another reason why bots will have an advantage.
Yeah.
Unless Uni have a front end over on Pulse. Like there's that possibility.
The best thing
but that's I couldn't see him
yield.
doing that straight away.
38%
Yeah.
return.
I reckon. I mean, if they've got them on Matic and all of this other stuff, like wouldn't they just like?
Yeah, but that was. Have they though? I don't even know if they've got a V3 on Matic.
I think they don't. I think they do.
Well, QuickSwap's the primary one there.
That's true.
So I don't think they'll.
Hang on a second.
Across in a
but they've got. I'm thinking of OpenSea have a thing over there. Yeah. So.
Yo, like if $1 worth would really become worth $1.2 million worth, then maybe the slippage, even just from buying $1 worth, might be effing huge. Like, do you know what I mean? It kind of would have to be, right?
But Tangent, will there be front ends available to go Pulse shitcoin shopping?
So that's what Jexxa and Bluey were just discussing, and it's like possibly not straight away. So what's this? There's not going to be. So let's just be real about this. That basically Richard would be in the best position, regardless, because he knows when it's going to launch. He knows, like, he's got devs sitting there ready to do this shit. So like, I think my hope is that they just make it so that it's fair and like that no one has to race for this shit and it's just already fixed. That would be better.
You can't guarantee that, and the reality is there'll be people that are smart enough that us mere mortals won't even be able to compete with. So if people are, no, well, it's true. Like they'd already be doing
5D chess.
They'd already be doing it on other chains. They would be totally across it. Like it's
agreed.
Go to sleep. Wake up nice and refreshed the next day and just use it like a normal human.
Very cool.
So we're
Well,
all
they
gonna
do
go
say-
onto. We're all going to go onto when Pulse launches. We're going to be using Pulse X, the exchange Pulse X. What other exchange are we going to be able to use? So we're only going to have access to what's in Pulse X. Is there going to be a front end for Uniswap?
Probably
Ooh.
in time.
You know what I'm saying?
I would have thought.
well-
I would have thought there would be.
But okay,
I
when you say you would
agree
have
with
thought there
Jexxa,
would
not
be,
straight away.
who's
Not
going to make that
necessarily.
front end?
Not for
Who-
V3.
Uniswap. are
So
gonna
you
make it.
think on launch they're going to have a front end ready for us to go in?
I've got no
way.
idea.
Not
So
on
I don't
V3,
think-
but all the
straight away.
V2 all the V2 pools still exist. So yes, they've been drained, assuming they've all been drained, but V2 still exists there, and anyone can fire up a front end for V2. So to think that
It's just gonna-
PulseX
There's just going to be loads
PulseX
of
may not
pulse
be
in
the
there.
only PulseX may not be the only DEX operating, so that anyone can reseed those pools or create new pools on V2.
They would need to reseed them.
Hey, look, I'm wearing Hex pants today, everybody.
Sick.
Awesome.
Nice,
Love it.
very
Hey,
nice.
did you know?
Bluey-
And
we had a
can I just
call-
make one?
Yeah,
Sorry, can I
You
just
go,
make
Sam.
one
You go,
point
Sammy.
in relation to just to finish off that thread that we we're talking about, and then Sammy, I'm sorry.
You're right.
Just in relation to Uniswap and version 3, they're the only ones that can actually use version 3. So let's just remember it's
are they
their
though?
code. Yeah, it's their code.
Yeah,
And they can use it for, they've got one more year that, and then anyone can use it. So version 3 will be rolled, I'm sure will get rolled into, Pulse X at some stage in the future. But until, so Uniswap have got version 3. Doesn't mean the liquidity is all theirs, but the actual code itself is theirs.
Okay,
only
so
theirs to use for now.
I don't know whether how the front end works, because people all tie into V3 on Uniswap. 1 inch, they all do it.
Yep. But everything's going through Uniswap though. So you can't copy that code and have it in PulseX.
I agree with the smart contracts, yes, but what about front ends?
The front ends can use the Uniswap, but it depends whether they've got the admin keys for it. It depends what they're going to allow
Okay, so
to happen.
so on an aggregator, take an aggregator for example, they call Uniswap V3. That contract's going to exist. Can an aggregator use it in the same way it does on Ethereum still? And you're not breaking any terms of service then, because you're not doing anything that you couldn't already do on Ethereum.
This is interesting, hey? So many possibilities. But someone would have to do it. The aggregator. So we're talking about like a matcher.xyz. We're talking about a 1 inch. Are they even coming over? Are they doing that? Because we're just going to be using PulseX, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, this is never-ending discussion.
Yeah.
Sorry, Sammy, I cut you off before. I just
No,
wanted
that's
to
all right. I
finish
was
up
just
that
gonna,
thread.
Show off your
tell you
pants
guys-
more.
Yeah, show off my
Give us a little
pants.
twirl.
ladies' discourse. Ladies'
that's what I was
discourse on
gonna say,
Saturday
thanks.
was wonderful.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. We had a record amount of people on our show. We actually had to kick one off to let more in. And we have over 150 viewers at one
Whoa.
point. Like, we've never, ever had that. So it was like a record show. So it was, thanks for all your
That's
support. I
awesome.
saw you guys get in there, even though I got kicked off from my internet.
I learned something actually.
It's
Something
Did you?
more proof that we're growing, isn't it?
There's a Richard Hart fan club Instagram. So get on over
Yeah,
there, ladies, and
that's
on Richard
true.
Hart on Instagram.
That's true.
And that was awesome.
And,
that was some
yeah, it was. It was,
great
it was a lot of
testimony
fun.
too.
And the girls are a lot of fun too, all the new faces, and they're all really a lot of fun. And a lot of them are going to PulseCon in September. And I'm going. I booked my tickets, so I'm really excited. Also, you guys see in
that
the Aussie
right?
Australia.
You're going to go and take one for there.
Yeah, of course I am. It's going to be awesome. I'm going for 10 days. I'm going to go to the casino, mate. and drink and gamble.
Oh, well,
You
where's-
know,
Yeah.
I might have to
Nice.
come with
Look
you.
at me in your
I might have
luggage.
to come with you.
you should come over
What are you
with
talking
me and do the country proud. Do the right
Yeah.
thing. That's what you should be doing.
Get over there,
Yeah,
Unwrecked. Get
Hey,
over there,
um,
buddy.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Did you?
Oh, no, I have to
guys
return
see,
Richard Hart's diamond. See, I have his Richard Hart's diamond.
Can we have
Sammy,
another look at that diamond, please, mate? Can we
I
please
have
have
the-
another look at that?
Look, no, I'm serious. This is the diamond, the Enigma diamond, the 5555 piece of cultural heritage. In earlier, Richard Hart sent it to me. A steamed jeweler.
Mate,
and,
that looks like a petrified turd.
disposable lighter.
Here's my one. Look, here's
Disposable
one.
cigarettes.
What do you reckon?
That's right.
This is my
I
black
reckon,
diamond.
I reckon that's like one step away from this one. It's like that's the same. It's the same material that one that you've got there, Mayo. Petrified wood.
Is it? Mine's better
Yeah,
quality.
no.
It's got some shine about it.
Hey,
Looks like
JFK.
you've been back
JFK
out
in
of the
the
shovel
chat.
and dug it up, mate.
Shout out to JFK in the chat, guys. Shout out to JFK. He did a great Twitter post. I'd like to play it, JFK, but can you send it to me in Telegram?
I sent it to you, didn't I?
Yeah, you sent me the Twitter thing. Can you get the video? Have you just got the video so I can load it into the thing here and play it?
Is this the one with CZ?
Yeah.
This is the one, yeah, with the lollipop kids.
Yeah. We haven't seen you do anything like that for a while, JFK. So yeah, I was
I
going to
think
see.
we're
if
gonna
He's been working. He's been working
He's
on that
got a-
latest one.
It's
Yeah.
got a real life. Yeah.
That was a lot of. That looked like a lot of work in that last one.
How do you? Ooh.
Going out there, I hope. Thank the chat. And we do love everyone tuning into us every week to Hex Show, talking about Hex crypto. It's the
Smash
high
the like.
returns to and decentralized design. Yeah, nearly 4.5. There's nearly probably we're about 30 wallets away from 500,000 wallets own Hex. So if you're out of Hexakin and you own Hex, congratulations. Believe it or not, I believe it's the best digital asset. I'm invested in Hex. Everyone here must be invested in Hex, surely, at some point.
Yep. I bought more today, actually.
It's a great coin. And
I cannot confirm or deny.
well, you know what? Congratulations. and like the reshare now, the Hedron contract. There was a question before, Bluey. You might answer it, mate. I'm loving the Hedron. I reckon that's great.
Yeah. What was the
awesome.
question?
Going on over there?
Stephen asked, "Is there any reason you wouldn't have like a Quattro Cinco?"
Yes.
If you were going
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
go on.
I'm going to do. I don't know. I like you like the cleanness of an original Hex state, and you don't need to borrow money. And you're not interested in it. You're not interested in like trading T-shares or whatnot down the track.
I
'Cause then
agree. I agree.
Yeah. Sorry.
I
I
like
thought
the
question was
interface
general.
with the.
What's that? What's he saying that to? I understand what you're saying. I'm personally not interested in selling, but realizing value without paying capital gains tax and magnifying my bags.
Is that Andrew?
Yeah. So what he's saying is you can extract the value.
10x multiplier.
Oh, because he gets the headroom out of it.
Yeah.
But isn't that capital gains?
Yeah,
or-
you'll have to pay capital gain
don't know.
tax on that.
Yeah.
And with the cost basis being zero, so it's actually worse. Like
Well,
as in it's
that leads
it's
into
100% cap gain.
Okay. So is it a staking reward?
Absolutely.
Arguable.
I reckon it's a staking
airdrop.
reward. You only get it.
You could definitely argue it both ways.
It's
You
an
only
airdrop.
get it if
How
you
would you-
staked.
But it's income. If it's a staking reward, it's income.
No, well,
it's
that's
either
actually-
It's
income
an
or capital gains.
external project. So
You don't get it
you're not
automatically.
getting it from
have to
you're not
claim
getting
it.
it from the original project. It's being airdropped by a third party based on that parameter. Like
What-
I'm just playing devil's advocate here.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think-
no, I'm cool with
I
that.
think,
What if-
I
what
think
if-
you could adequately argue it logically and sufficiently
Okay.
on
What
both
if you,
sides.
What if you staked a HSI?
Or,
What if I sell my HSI for
or-
$1, but it's actually like
I did
as an
bounce-
NFT.
I did
What
bounce
if someone
around.
blows me
20
for
mil.
my HSI stake?
Well, that
Then what?
well, that means your capital going to be $1.
Never gonna happen.
for G33. That was awesome. You just disappeared then,
Borrowing, there
Tangent.
you So you're saying borrowing against your HSI stack?
Yeah, so you're extracting the hedron from it, which technically you could do, and if you at some point in time you'd want to release the hex from it, but you could good accounting that hex state for a long, long time if you're able to extract value out of it.
Yep. Just use it as like
Yeah,
a borrowing account,
yeah.
like with incredibly low interest.
But yeah, I think you could, if the staking rewards thing is not income, if that case out of the US holds water in other places, Australia and the like, then yeah, I think if you've staked through Hedron, it is a reward for staking through Hedron, and and you're still getting your hex interest because that's staking through the hex contract. They're just all one in the same now. So
You know what? You should just say whatever you want and let the ATO come at you.
You can
just
spin
give all
that
that
story
paper on the
any
cover.
which way,
Because
Jexxa.
they haven't got any answers.
Yeah,
No,
you
but
can spin
seriously,
that story any
they-
which way.
they haven't got any answers at all, do they?
Yeah,
And if they're going to make a ruling on something, then they
You can
have to
call
make
it-
that ruling.
You can call it an airdrop.
Keep-
You can say
if
it's an
you keep-
airdrop. They don't know it comes from T-shares.
guys,
if you
guys,
mint,
if
if you mint Hedron, they don't know it comes from your T-shares. Like,
the
do they
critical
know
thing
that?
here,
they
is
do
you-
now. You just told them.
You told them. Yeah.
The critical thing here, the critical thing here,
Foiled
is that you-
again.
guys, this is important. You need to keep detailed records of how
paper
you,
form.
I use paper. You write down why you did it and how you calculated it, and then at worst, they can only ever say, "We disagree with how you've come to this conclusion, so you're going to have to pay the difference in tax. You won't get fined, you won't get jailed, you won't get in trouble because you've got
Yeah, they just want
your
your money.
reasoning.
They don't want to put you
You're
in
like,
jail.
look, this is a new asset class. This is how I worked it out. These are the reasons why. This is my justification. And as long as it's not ridiculous, then they won't bust your ass. They'll just, so you've got that plausible deniability. Trust me. The tax officers, they're not out to just try and put people in jail for no reason. I guess you just work out which out of these options is the best for you financially. And if you can mount a compelling case as to why you're doing it that way, and also keep in mind, I'm not a tax accountant.
Has the ATO ever put someone in jail? They don't put people in jail.
Of course they do.
They just
Yeah,
try to.
they do.
They just try to rinse them.
If they can show that you've been fraudulent, so if it's clear that you have
Then
fraudulently,
they just take it to the cleaners. They take it to the cleaners.
So
They
tax
don't want to put you in
fraud,
jail.
tax fraud, tax evasion, dude. People go to jail for tax evasion. Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. Yes.
But you get rinsed way before any of that
Heaps
happens.
of
Yeah, it's very
people
rare.
go to
It's the
jail
last
for
resort.
tax evasion. Like that's not uncommon.
Nah, you're just making shit up now.
What? Bro, are you tripping?
Yeah, dude. Governments don't mess around when it comes to taxes. They fuck.
Yeah, but they're not putting people in jail for it. They're just
Yes,
rinsing people
yes,
for it.
dude.
Yeah,
is
no,
someone
they-
going to back
they-
me on this? Is someone going to back me on this? People
I'm
go to
backing you,
tax,
bro.
they
No,
go
no,
to
I'm
jail
backing
for
you.
tax evasion all the time.
Yeah,
all
man.
the time, dude. It is common. It's like probably
They
one of the
fuck
most
people
common
up,
ways
bro,
that you can
for
go to
tax
jail for
evasion.
white collar crime. Is tax fraud. Absolutely.
You know, I had a
Louis-
tangent.
Louis
I
not
had a-
convinced.
I've got to be
I
honest.
had a,
I can't think of anyone that I know that has, but I'm
Yeah,
not.
Rene
I'm sure
Rivkin.
there's got to be.
Yeah, like there's big dogs. Like didn't
Yeah.
Alan
remember Rene,
like
remember
Alan
Rene
Bond,
Rivkin, that trader back in the
Yeah.
day?
I do remember
Bond,
him,
Bond.
and
He
he
went
was
to
an
jail.
'80s kind of.
Bro, he went to
Yeah.
jail for tax evasion.
Bond
Alan,
never.
Alan Bond.
No.
Alan
Rene
That was
Rivkin.
different. That was different, though.
Rene
Yeah.
Okay, so it was a
And
different
so,
type.
and how long did he go? How long was he in jail for?
I think he fucking died in jail, bro.
Really?
Yeah.
Bro, I'm going.
He was already
I
fucked
can't
up.
believe I'm doing this because I'm so sure of it. But I'm going to Google.
So why didn't he just
Australians.
pay it? If it came to that point.
No, it's
You
beyond
know
that
what?
point though.
I don't even
If
know
they can
if
show- if
any
they
of
can
the
show that-
information I just gave you is true. So go do your own research, people.
Yeah.
I could have just made all of that shit up just then.
There you go. Dawsy's said something in the comments, and also Scaife. He was another one, wasn't he?
Yep.
Ash Ash went to jail for tax fraud.
Are you serious?
I actually know someone personally that did go for it.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey,
Well,
Ash,
there you
how long were you in
Really?
jail for, bro?
Yeah.
How long?
Hey.
I mean,
Well,
you,
Mayo,
you,
no,
you
hang
put
on,
it out
listen,
there,
Mayo's-
bro. I'm just asking the questions now.
go. Yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
Well, let's hear, mate.
I don't know the exact details. Like, I don't know what the sentence was, but he was out within like 12 months or something. It was a lot of money, man. A lot of money.
Yeah. Did he get away with it though? Is it worth doing the 8 to
Yeah,
12
it's
months?
definitely worth it with what he ended up coming back out with and what he still has.
So did he go to one of those
guys?
Did he go to one of those
This is an
country club
interesting thing.
jails?
Yeah,
or-
yeah.
When I was in
the,
high
like,
school-
the farm they call it, the farm up here they call it.
But when I was in high
They literally
school,
sneak out
my-
overnight. Sorry.
my
Hang on, we
You
got
go,
the.
you go.
hang on.
No, this is much more interesting.
No
Oh,
fences, no
much more
fences, no
interesting.
walls.
Mayo.
It's literally a prison
No,
farm.
there's a barbed wire fence. That's it. And I heard a story about it. Here's a story for you. I love this. They were sneaking out one night and the light come on, so they run. And one of the dudes apparently coat hanging himself on the barbed wire fences was running.
Oh,
But yeah, they actually paid
no.
someone to come in and sleep in their bed while they went out for the night and come back over the end of the weekend.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So that's where all the non-violent crimes go.
In
So
high
just
school,
to
I
be
had
clear,
a
hang
a
on, just to be clear,
divinity
so we
teacher.
clear Ash's
Tax
name.
evasion.
divinity teacher who told us all very clearly, if you're going to get into crime, make sure it's white collar crime.
Okay, that was your
Divinity,
priest told you that.
divinity teacher.
Yeah. That's like a priest, is it, or
Yeah.
like a
No,
religious
well, he was a
teacher?
priest. He was an Anglican priest, I believe.
Right.
I
Just to
say
clear
if you're gonna
Ash's
do
name,
crime-
Ash was only joking. So just to clear his name, because we've had that up on the screen for a while.
You criminal.
Maybe we should put the next comment up.
Hardened criminal. That.
Yeah.
So that was the tax evasion, Mayo. That
Yeah.
guy, that friend of yours
Yeah.
went.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Do you know or can you say what kind of what he was doing?
I probably shouldn't say too much.
Fair enough.
But he was trying to rinse money through his house and building more houses and doing extensions and things like that from illegal incomes. And the reason he got caught was for the tax. It wasn't for anything else he was doing illegally. It was the tax that got him caught. And that's what he went away for, the fraud. None of the other bad stuff he does, if that makes sense.
I found an article that does sort of support Bloobum, not completely, but largely says that most people don't end up in jail from tax evasion in Australia. Probably from what Jexxa was saying, that if you're willing to pay all the tax and a fine and shit like that, they probably accept dollars over jail time. But it is
they
a
want their money.
jailable. It is a jailable offence. Yeah, they prefer the money over depriving your liberty. But it absolutely is a serious crime that they do take very seriously. Like it's not.
When you think about it, it would be like double taxing the ATO, because first of all, you don't pay them the tax, and then it costs them to send you to jail.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
True.
Payback.
So doing time for tax evasion
I like that.
is like
Jexxa.
scamming. Is like
actually winning.
It's a double scam. Yeah, you get them twice, bro. You get them twice. Let's fucking do it. It's if you. I like the way you're thinking, Jexxa. You look at the financial incentives to predict the behavior, right? It's the freak. That's that whole philosophy of freakonomics is incentive based human prediction.
Yeah, I'm not going to test it, but
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
JFK 666 just sent me the file, but it's
There
like
we go.
250 meg, so it's not really even
That's
downloading
too
at the
big.
moment while I'm streaming. I don't know if Restream's going to be able to handle that.
No, that Restream won't be able to handle that. You'll have to get it down to like 60 or 80 meg.
Let me see what I
we
can
not
work
just-
out with OBS. I might be able to work some shit out. Give me a second.
No, I've went through all this with JFK's videos, and I had to what's them called them all? Like I had to put them all into some program and make them
It's
smaller.
almost, I've never seen whenever we've tried to do a premiere of a video, and it's not just on our channel, on anyone's channel, the streaming always turns it to shit, and it's cuts
I'm
out.
gonna try. Listen, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna just give me a minute. Give me 5 minutes. to see if I can make this work in the. Okay.
I was just thinking, lucky I'm running a VPN. Otherwise, me searching, can you go to jail for tax evasion on fucking Google would not be a cool idea at all. So red flag, red flag, red flag.
Okay.
How we go? Yeah, it's still downloading it, are you, mate?
Me?
Yeah. We spoke about pulse balances before. I've got to admit, I haven't even checked PulseX balances. Are they a thing? They're all there and working? And anyone done that check yet?
Yeah, mine was up, then it was down a little bit, and I jumped on the testnet and staked some PulseX, and I watched a video from the Pulse Abides. Did you guys see that, guys, in the Aussie chat? He does some videos, and he was showing how he earned all his interest in the PRT coin, and then he was swapping it for PulseX and staking that too, which is pretty cool.
Oh, actually, I wanted to talk about that a little bit. So this PRT coin, so this is one that is going to be a reward for staking PulseX. Have I got that right?
Yep.
But it's not a token that is created by RH. This is third-party tokens that can get allocated to that pool. Is that true? Is that everyone's understanding?
I think you
I
can buy it as well.
I actually assumed it was an RH token, but I could easily be wrong. Because who else would it be?
But well, my understanding is it might be used as a distribution mechanism for new projects on the chain that want to reward people for staking PulseX. Has anyone maybe chat if you've confirmed?
That's a pretty big assumption to make if you're making that system.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, and I don't know whether that was what it was intended for, or that's what was perceived to be intended for, and now it's not. I don't know because we haven't. There's still the incentive.
I did hear that somewhere, but I'm thinking the incentive token is just going to be just a shit token that inflates heaps, and people are going to speculate on it.
So why would you hold? So
Yes.
if you hold if you go into a liquidity pool, you get given the incentive token. But if you've got your Pulse staked, do you get that incentive token as well?
No.
Sorry, your PulseX. Your PulseX staked. I mean, so and I'll explain why I'm asking this, because that's what I've heard is it's a third-party token placeholder, so that third-party tokens can be allocated to PulseX holders. But everyone kept saying, "Oh yeah, so when you get this yield, you dump it and buy more PulseX, and you just keep recirculating it."
But what? Yeah. So what incentive is that for the third parties to
Yeah,
distribute via that mechanism? It's a ridiculous people can just dump you as soon as they get it.
Yep, that's what I was thinking. So I don't know whether I've got that twisted. Something just to, if someone can dig around a little bit more and let us know, that would be great.
Yeah, it's not a bad point, because on Binance they pay the staking yields in cake, which is the equivalent would be getting your staking yields paid in PulseX token.
Yeah.
So this is a different tokenomics.
I heard someone talking about this actually. I think it was K4K Crypto, and he had a really interesting take. It was on Cabana's show. He was saying that like what he thinks could happen is that the PRT token is going to be something that people can build around. Like it's going to be an opportunity for people to actually build around that token and build different things on the Pulse network that are specifically like around that token. So I thought that was an interesting take.
What does that mean? That doesn't mean anything.
I would say go check out Cabana's. It made a lot of sense at the time. I may not be explaining it exactly the way he meant it, but the way he explained it sounded really interesting. So it's sort of like it hasn't been like some of this stuff maybe hasn't been built yet, but once a token exists and it's there, maybe people can build around it.
Yeah, don't know. So that was just something. That was a bit of a red flag that I was saying that if everyone thinks that that's the way they're going to play the game, you might find you get nothing if that's what that's intended to do. Because there's no way in hell I'd be giving tokens to people that are just going to insta dump them for more.
I think it's just going to be a highly inflationary token that that inflation is going to deflate over time. It's going to be a really simple one.
So Ash Tree, has just said Pulse reward token. Apparently, future products may airdrop to PRT holders.
Yeah, but you can say that about anything, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Well, why wouldn't you just go to the Pulse X holders in that?
Or the Pulse holders.
You haven't staked.
Yeah.
You haven't staked, have you? Yeah.
Look, the distribution models are very interesting, and how you distribute to people a new project is very, very important for the like how that project's going to start off and whether it gets dumped early and all that kind of stuff. And there's way more interesting distribution models, like as shown through Hedron. Why wouldn't you, if you want to put a new token out, why wouldn't you give it to hex stakers specifically? Because you know those people are going to be long-term thinkers and all that.
Do you think the bonuses on Hedron were too much?
No.
For too long?
No, I think there was a logic to how he did it, and he basically said that Hex has been out for 2 years. He wanted to give as much token out really early on, like in that 100 days, as if it had been going for 2 years. But the point is that you have a massive inflation.
Sorry, was that working?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Sorry.
Do you want to watch? Ready. I mean, the point is you have a massive inflation of like amount at really early on, and then that all gets flushed out, and then over time, the tokenomics of it sort of kick in, and as you have, like less and less B shares or harder to get B shares, you have less Hedron.
I agree with that. The thing I question is you've locked in that multiplier for the life of the stake, so that's a long tail of distribution
for anybody who's claimed in these first 100 days. Yeah. So there's that. It's like people haven't taken advantage of that as well. I mean, a lot have, but it'll play out.
Yeah. Oh no, it will. I don't think it will, but I just think that maybe it's made the time horizon of this thing play out over more years than what probably was necessary.
I thought that's what the case was going to be, that it was going to take a really long time to flush out. But but look at the chart. I mean, it's already like going sideways with barely any dumpage. And so like, there'll be a downward pressure for a long time, but it's the mechanics of it are working. And so whether it goes moon in 5 years, or whether it goes moon in 8 years, or whether it goes moon in 2 years, like it could easily do a 10,000x in 2 years.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying it can't. I'm just and I guess this is just a learning exercise for anything else that launches as well. What can we learn from how it was done? Is there better ways to do things? So there's it's not a slight against the project. I just
I didn't take it that way. Look, it's also interesting that this whole sacrifice approach, like how much do people who sacrificed value those things that they sacrificed for? Like that's another, and that one we haven't even really seen play out yet.
No, but that puts a cost, at least a cost base on what people have purchased.
Yeah, you're not going to be selling for less than you sacked for any of these projects, are you?
Yeah,
that's kind of, you'd think. I mean, it's an interesting distribution. It's another distribution model, isn't it?
Yeah, and I'm sure we'll learn plenty more. And I don't think Hex got everything 100% right either. There was things that were built into the way Hex launched that didn't go the way it was originally designed, and that was primarily because
he probably wanted more people to free claim from their BTC.
And Uniswap wasn't even a thing at the time, so that changed everything completely.
Yeah. But you'd think that just giving them out to people who have like PulseX staked, like or PRT or whatever. I mean, that's kind of. I mean, I suppose it's a way of doing it, but you'd think that. I mean, it depends on the project and what they're doing, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. So
Hey,
it
guys,
seems like
let's-
everyone's a
let's-
little bit unclear about what that's actually doing. So it'd be good to try and get some more
Let's give
clarity
this
on
a
that.
play, guys. Let's give this
Go
a
for it.
play. This is JFK 666. Tell me, is the audio okay?
Yes.
Bit quiet, mate.
It's quiet, is it?
Yeah, a little bit.
Captain RG3 voice.
Day I wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind. Where troubles melt like lemon drops away above
KNTX.
the chimney tops. That's where
KNTX is Toto.
Physiology.
She's worse than the other one. Who killed the witch of the east? Was it you? No, it was an accident. I didn't mean to kill anybody. Well, my little pretty, I can cause accidents too. But what happens if I just follow the yellow brick road?
See, JFK loves the fuck out of that tracking feature.
Ever again. Because I love you all. And, oh, Eddie M. There's no place like home.
Bravo. Well done, JFK.
Came out of retirement for
Yeah.
that one.
That's awesome,
Good stuff,
JFK.
JFK. Well done, mate. Well
That's
done.
awesome. Always bringing out the goods.
Hey guys, you didn't mention ANZ Bank bringing out the stablecoin.
Yeah, I saw that.
Big news. That's big news. And they're using header hash graph. Did you see that?
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I know, right?
That's a private chain, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's just another shitcoin chain.
Who dat?
I wouldn't go saying it's shitcoin. It's different technology, but I thought it was private. There's definitely a private and a public component to it. Whether or not they're choosing to use the private side, I'd imagine they damn would, but who knows?
I have to assume
What's the
that anything blockchain related that a bank uses is going to be fucking shit. I'm just going to make that. I'm going to run with that assumption.
Solid
That is my
base assumption, man.
Yeah.
Oh, people are going to get moist over it, but I wouldn't be going anywhere near it.
Really?
Yeah, I agree.
Holding the Aussie dollar ANZ coin. People are going to get moist over that.
Moisture.
Yeah. I know, but that'll be made a big deal of, and people may start seeing it in their or using it in their ANZ wallets. But guaranteed, it's not going to be bloody going too much further than that. I don't know. I could be wrong, but yeah.
But what's the point of having it? What's the point of having it if you can't stop it for crypto? Like
They must be having
either
a
it makes
plan.
it easier, either it makes it easier for people, or it makes it more difficult for people, or it's the same, isn't it? So it's like, what's the point of bringing it out? If you can't stop it for crypto?
Unless they're going to let it be free on a public chain. Sorry, not be free as in give it away, but be able to move on public
available.
chains. What's the point?
But You know, this whole thing about private chains as well. I just don't understand. It doesn't that go against
Yes.
the whole point
Everything.
of like
It's the
a
intranet.
cryptocurrency.
It's the
Like,
intranet of the 90s. It's the intranet. It'll get crushed by the internet. Like it has to be open
So it's
and
just-
borderless to compete. Private,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
closed,
It's a-
bordered systems will not compete.
So it's either pure marketing.
But it's going to
Or-
onboard the rest of everyone else into crypto.
Yes.
That's
The
what it's
bait
going
and
to
Yeah,
do,
it's
which
good.
is good. Which
It's
is fucking good for crypto.
Everything
Yeah.
inferior is a bait and switch in the long term. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good
Yeah.
for crypto because sooner or later they're going to go, oh, so this bank crypto sucks compared to this like real shit over here. Like that is what people.
I mean,
will
you
come
would
to that
think-
realization.
You would think that Australian exchanges will have to list it for it to be of any value.
They-
Like,
It's a
what's
I'm
not
getting
gonna-
mixed.
I mean, what's the
I
point
was
of
just-
having?
Yeah, I was just trying to do a bit of a Google to find out if it was permissioned or not, and I'm getting mixed results. Some things are saying
Well, yeah, that's the
Yeah.
thing. They've only announced. that
here we go.
they're-
Private ledger, public
Yeah.
trust,
Bro, they're going to have admin keys all over that fucking thing.
permission
Like-
blockchain on
Well,
Hedera.
well, of course they are. But
And they're going to have,
that-
they'll
but
be able to turn off
USDC
your money.
does, but that's all
Yeah.
stablecoin.
Yeah.
Like, well, not all.
There's
but
got to
like-
be a plan behind it, guys. They're out to make money. They're greedy as fuck. There's a plan behind it to make a lot of money
Okay.
out.
Owned by IBM, they are heavily entrenched in legacy finance. Yeah, I wouldn't be touching it.
I mean, maybe it's an easier bridge. Maybe you can just like if there was a stable coin you could just buy out of your like straight in your bank account, and then you could send it
yeah.
to an exchange, change it for whatever you wanted to.
Okay, the one thing I think it would serve a good purpose for if it got rid of centralized exchanges. So if you cut
Yeah.
out that middleman, that might be
No, they're
all
not
right.
going to do that. No, that's
Well, that's actually, but that would be where they see the cream, because
so
all
you
the
think the bank is going to turn into a centralized exchange?
Yeah,
well,
so they
that's
start
all
getting
the
their own
centralized
fees.
exchanges are these days. They're the new banks. Everyone sends their coins there and holds them in wallets there. They are the new bank,
That's
whether you like it
true.
or not.
Yeah, right.
So
yeah.
they'll be, and the only reason they exist is because of regulatory arbitrage. So if the banks
Mhm.
see that as that is one of the biggest honeypots in crypto.
Yeah, the
they'll be
banks
all
will go
over that.
after that.
So,
That
so
makes sense.
do you think
Yeah.
that is going to be? Do you think they're going to take away business from the exchanges, or do you think they're just going to onboard the normies?
They'll compete against them.
Both.
Yeah, they'll be looking to
Yeah.
take away business from the exchanges because you think, look how much money those exchanges drag in. Huge
Yeah.
amounts of money.
Yeah,
Yeah, that would be the
Yeah, they
end
got-
goal, I would think.
yeah. They got
I'm
licenses
gonna
to be
jump
the
in. I'm
choke
gonna
point.
take off, guys. I gotta go.
Yeah, no worries, mate.
See you, Mayo.
Yeah,
Maybe
man.
we'll talk about that more.
Cheers,
No,
mate.
so-
Yeah, mate.
Thanks, mate.
The only good that could come out of it, I think, is if it removes that middleman, and you can move your funds into the public chain. So you could swap it into this Aussie dollar thing and then go trade that on a decentralized exchange. Then I'd go, yeah, okay, it's no worse than what you are doing now.
Yeah, it's the same pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've just been sent some. This is hot off the press, yeah, or maybe it's not, but it's the first time I've heard of it. So iBaseline has sent me a couple of messages here saying that stake your PulseX and receive X PulseX. By holding X PulseX, you're participating in PulseX buybacks, which are using 0.07% of trading fees to buy back PulseX and sending them to this pool. In doing so increases PulseX ratio, meaning you will be able to claim back increasingly more PulseX every X PulseX token you are holding. I'll have to read that again to understand what the fuck.
It's getting
I
so
think
much
that-
harder.
Yeah.
This whole
They didn't
this
say
whole
anything about the
environment.
PR. Sorry, they didn't say anything about the PRT
PRT.
token.
So the more
No, it's just-
incentive token you hold, the more PulseX you get. But the incentive token, he's calling it X PulseX, right?
This is getting
Is
so
that different from
confusing.
PRT?
Because there's the incentive token as well.
And the
Is it?
incentive token.
Hmm.
Man, everything is getting so much harder to explain to noobs, isn't it? Like it used to be,
Yeah,
yeah,
but you
just get your
wouldn't.
hex,
Would you
stake
even
it.
try? Yeah.
Now
would you
it's
even-
like,
Yeah.
oh,
Oh,
I
that
mean-
sorry, Xpulse X is what it was called before PRT.
Okay.
yeah, okay.
I'll bring it up on
Cool.
the screen. I'll bring it up
Yeah.
on the screen, so you guys can see it. Give me a second. I just need to save them.
Hey, Bluey, you know when they burnt that Hedron? I think when the OA claimed,
Oh yeah,
and they
no,
burnt the
oh
Hedron.
yeah.
Is that what
Yeah.
pushed the price up?
I don't think so. It wasn't really enough to push the price up. There's been 4 burns so far that the SA, the source address in the Hedron contract, has burnt. He's by running the proof of benevolence function.
Yeah. You can argue that
And
burns don't
the first
push up.
2, yeah,
Burns
it's just
don't push
it's
price,
reduced
yeah.
supply.
Yeah.
But every time, anytime anyone like gets their bonus, that goes to the SA. So the SA is constantly getting these copies of these bonuses, just like the Hex OA is getting copies of bonuses, and or was, and but the interesting thing is from the last 2 burns that the SA did, it did one amount of like around 180,000. Worth 180,000 US, and then it did an amount that was worth about 21 cents. And so people were like, well, "What's going on here? Why did they burn 21 cents worth?" And so Nomad, like, and people were trying to work out what the message was and stuff like that. So then Nomad ended up putting it into decimal to ASCII, like it's this kind of
As you do.
cryptography stuff. Yeah, yeah.
As
It's
you
this-
do,
it's this-
man. no inside information there.
It's this basic,
Yeah.
It's really basic cryptography. That but obviously not a lot of people know about cryptography. But when you put it in there, it came up with messages.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it was basically
it's
like
not a,
the first
yeah, it's not
message.
even, that's not even cryptography. That's just changing the
Well, it is cryptography.
No, it's not. You're just using it like we work in decimal, so it was probably in
Yeah.
hexadecimal, and they've just converted from hex to decimal.
It's
or
a
to
form of
ASCII.
cryptography, though. No, it's a form of cryptography.
Wow.
Like
Yeah.
when you cryptographically like change when you're changing something from one thing to another and with some sort of code, that's cryptography.
So is writing hello in German a
Yeah.
cryptographic version of English?
Yeah, absolutely.
Hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Different
If you know
yeah.
it, you have to know that code in order to understand it. And there's actually like a type of cryptography where like all the where it's out in the open. Like they call it what is it? I can't remember now.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name for it, but it's when you do things like right out in the open. So some people who understand that that's the code,
Hmm.
that's saying something different to what it actually is,
Yeah.
will understand it, but other people won't.
So long and the short of it all,
But anyway,
did you get the actual
messages-
correct message out of all of that? 'Cause
yeah,
I
the
know there was two
messages were
messages.
basically the messages were move your USDC to hex, and when moon or we moon.
We meant, yeah.
There was a
see
couple
it?
of
were they,
conjectures as to
Can we see
so
it?
were they saying move your liquidity or buy hex?
no, move your liquidity, I think. Well, that's the thing. So when
hex.
I did it,
It was by
I
hex.
did it with I did it with the decimal place there, and
Mm.
when Nomad did it, he did it without the decimal place. If you translated it with the decimal place, it said move USD to hex. If you did it without the decimal place, like you just took that dot out, then it said move USDC to hex, right? And
Yeah.
then in the second one was either we moon or when moon. So there's a slight
So
different.
can you explain to me what is Alex writing in these messages, and why doesn't he just fucking tweet them out what he wants to say? Like, what
Yeah.
is this?
And
We've
why not
seen a
number
bit of
go
this lately
up?
in the Hedron environment where there was the other stuff that was sent out via a signed message on that ended up in Twitter as well. Do you remember that one? What was that one? I think someone was dumping at the time or something. So we've gone next level with the nerdiness. Instead of just putting a tweet out, we're starting to do signed messages. And
I like it.
yeah.
It's cryptography. You know, this is what we're doing.
It will go down in history. It will go down in history. We'll look back and say, remember that. You can see it on the blockchain. Unlike
Well,
our tweets, which could disappear.
Can get scrapped, yeah.
Get scrapped from erased from
Oh,
history.
okay. Here's something. So that was something interesting that happened in the general Twitter sphere the other day. Elon Musk put out a tweet asking whether he should build a better Twitter. Anyone catch that?
Yeah, I saw that.
So for a bit of history, last time he asked for a poll like that was, should I sell 10% of my Tesla shares? And he acted upon the results
dump
of that.
the price.
Dump the price, yeah. It was in response to some bullshit from politicians saying they wanted to introduce stupid tax rules. But when he puts out a tweet like that, he honors, historically, he's honored the results of the tweet. And so I'm paraphrasing here, but he put out the tweet about Twitter and said the responses will be important. So he's saying, do you give me your honest opinion? Because he's going to consider it seriously. And I think it was pretty overwhelming that everyone said, go for it, man. Like, let's do it. Let's get rid of this shit where everyone's getting deplatformed.
Do you reckon his Twitter is? Do you reckon his Twitter is one person, or is it like just a team of people?
No, I think it's him. I think he generally likes
he trolls way too hard.
Yeah,
he trolls way too hard for it to be a team.
Yeah,
there's not much I don't think it's curated. I think he just.
I personally would never let anyone else run my Twitter, no matter how famous I was. Why would you do that? Like it only takes 10 seconds. You're just brain dumping single thoughts. It's like, if you don't have time for that, just don't have Twitter. Like I understand if it's like photo based and shit, like Instagram or something like that, or some kind of marketing thing or a website where it actually takes time. But Twitter is just like, you think of something, you type it and send it. That's it. Like it's not hard. It's not time consuming. And the risk,
but if people couldn't be asked, with it, then they were never into it from the start.
That person running it for you might have to like check in with you to make sure it's like, and be like, hey, is this okay? And then it's like taking up more of your time than if you just did it yourself.
You're missing the point, guys. Are we going to get a new Twitter?
Oh, who cares?
Oh yeah, King.
You know what? There are great Twitters out there already. There are great Twitters out there already. If you want something, the technology is out there.
Yeah,
it's got nothing to do with that.
That's fine.
It's about what everyone is jumping on.
This has a figurehead for people to rally around, so that it actually it gets the actual adoption going.
I
think all the other ones, the problem is not enough people are using them.
Hey, Sammy.
You need a swarm of people to go across in one big hit. And Signal's done a pretty good job.
Bootstrap.
Signal captured a lot of people. Sammy, you use a lot of Twitter. Would you use an Elon Musk version?
It's frozen. You know which was a great version that I use is Twitch, which was actually a Bitcoin Cash version of Twitter. And it works so well. It is like no one's on it.
Yeah, that's the problem.
If everyone was on it, it would be brilliant.
So if someone prominent said, "I've created a new platform," or I've acquired a new platform that
not Bitcoin Cash, it's BSV actually. Sorry,
censorship resistant, is going to respect your right to free speech, I'd be over there in a flash, man.
Yep.
And I'd take all of my 100 followers with me.
That's it.
How we going? We got time for a few segments, or
we do. I was just
Segment time.
Sammy. But guys, do we want to do bitch tits?
Of course.
Let's do bitch
Oh,
tits.
okay. I thought we were doing something else
do
first,
it.
but that's all right. Give me a sec.
What we're doing first?
Oh,
My
I thought Sammy
reign
might-
for the
I
week
thought
is
Sammy
coming
might
to
want
an
to do
end.
her segment.
Are we
Did
still
you-
going?
Have you got my tweet 43 that I sent to you during the week on our
Yes.
private?
Yeah. Hang
You
on.
need to show.
Let me check it out.
We need to show it because it's very touching.
Which one? The last one?
Yeah, Scott Sunderland
Oh, that one. Yep.
in Telegram. Yeah,
Okay, give me a second. I'll bring
yeah,
this
you're
up.
right.
Okay. Is there any voice or anything in that? No?
No, there's not. It's just what it is.
Okay. 1 second.
Should we do the price while you're doing that?
Yes.
I had a nice little week.
1 second.
Lots of plum trees, a sheep, a two, a kangaroo, a clothesline out the back.
That's a knife. All I had was me undies on.
Making me work fast here.
So
second.
that you're right.
Yeah, you go. Sorry.
Yeah, so this week's Hexagon legend is Scott Sunderland, and he's on Twitter at MindCoach222, and that's a photo of him. He says I use visualization to go from fully paralyzed to live the life of my dreams, and now I'm proud to say that I'm a Hexagon. What a legend, hey? Look at him. Now he's a Hexagon living his dreams from being in a wheelchair. Isn't it amazing? And there's another
Power of
photo
visualization.
there of him and his wife skiing, which it's sort of like down a bit. Maybe you can scroll down if you can see it. And yeah, that's him and his wife. So how
That's great.
amazing.
Yeah.
Power of the mind, hey?
For sure.
Awesome.
What a legend.
That's brilliant.
Well done, Scott.
All right.
Okay.
That'd be great to have him on to hear that story.
Yeah.
Sammy.
I'll hit him up. All right.
Just
here's
visualize it, Sammy.
bitches. I will. I visualize all the time. You know, it's funny because I used to watch this motivational video with Will Smith like religiously. I used to blast my whole house with it, right? And it's about believing in your dreams, right? And living your dreams that you're unique and getting all the shit out of your life and being, living life how you want to live it. And that's when I got into crypto and, did really well for myself. So, and Will Smith was in that video because he's a legend.
Really?
I love Will Smith.
Hey,
Who's Will Smith?
Who's Will Smith?
Wait,
Hey.
there's also a really good Arnold Schwarzenegger motivational video. Have you guys seen that one? It's like a speech by Arnold Schwarzenegger. I think he might be making it to the military or something. I can't remember, but he's like doing this speech, and it's actually incredible. Like it's actually an incredible speech. Like
when you understand his
but
when you understand his background and where he come from, he's done bloody well. Like he was starring in movies and couldn't even speak English. That's how he got his
the power of his visualization, because everything that he did, he just linked it to coming. So like he just I don't know if you guys have seen. Have you guys seen that in Pumping Iron?
Yes.
How he's like,
when I'm in the gym, I am calming.
So that's the secret to his success.
He talks about the pump. He talks about the pump being like feeling like you're coming.
Yeah, we need to get him into Pulse. It's perfect.
We need to get him into Pulse.
Pirani. Perfect for honey. I've got a mate who was telling me that that he's been trying like Viagra with his missus lately.
Just
Yeah.
shits and giggles, or
Just he said he was under a lot of stress, and you know, he just hadn't performed like he was used to performing, and he tried it, and he was trying to tell me.
Just to be clear, this is a friend, right?
He was telling me that I should try it. He's telling me that I should try it. He's like, bro. No, he's like, bro. He said bro like 20 times. He's like, bro. It's like, he said it's next level. It's like fatter. It's like longer. It's like it's like, you know.
I've had friends tell me the same thing. Like legit. They really promote the shit out of it. Friends of mine that take steroids use it religiously.
Do you know what I'm scared about? I'm scared you use it and then
reliance on it.
You lose your ability to just naturally.
Yep.
Well, this guy at work told me a story that this other guy was taking it and like it didn't go down, like he had to go to hospital and everything because it just wouldn't go down. Like full and he's laughing.
Take a few deep breaths. Damn.
Well, they just get a cold spoon out of the freezer and just whack it.
Cold shower.
Oh. What did they do? How did they stop that?
I don't know. He went to hospital. Apparently, it took like a couple of days to go down.
Why would you? How would hospital help?
Well,
it can't hurt, man. It can't hurt.
It's not pretty unstimulating, I suppose.
They could at least explain to you what, like, they could at least alleviate your fears and be like, "Don't worry, it's not going to fall off," or something like that, like, or give you some pain meds or something. I tell you what, in a situation like that, I'd rather be in a hospital than not. Like,
that's you go to hospital.
I don't know. All the nurses coming around having a giggle.
Yeah, right.
All the student doctors come in and say, "This is a case of overdose of Viagra," and then you can't get it down, so they ask Will Smith to come in and slap it.
Oh, he was the guy that slapped, right?
Bluey, you're like 5 minutes behind me.
Hey, dude, I take 23 now. Gee, time flew by. Yeah.
All right, peeps. You need a chart, don't you? Hang on. I'm all over it.
I'm going to lose this week, just for FYI.
Yeah, my reign is coming to an end.
You're not going to believe who won, though.
Me?
Unwrecked Pyrate.
Bloody Tangent.
Oh,
Tangent!
Oh,
no way.
Hang on. Oh, you're lucky the price just moved as well. You nearly got pipped, but the price just moved up to nearly up to 15. So you've just snuck in, my friend. But
Did he win the overall?
There you go. Right now, it's on 14.9. Oh, sorry.
Do you know what? I swear, I didn't look today, but I thought to myself, hang on a second. I think my guess was around this level. Like, I did think that. That's actually why I said me just then. Because I remembered guessing around. That's sick. That's sick. I think that's my first win. That's my first time, guys.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yeah. I've never won. I've never won this guessing thing before.
Look at the panel's guesses. This has never happened before in history.
Holy shit! Did we all go in at that?
No, I was like way out. I was at 12.3.
So almost all of us guessed around this level.
It was pretty tight grouping. Like you can see, everyone was.
I think I picked a resistance level on my chart. Like I picked this level specifically because I had it as a resistance level above where we were, and I was just hoping that we would at least go up to that level. Looks like it did.
I want to know, did you do this, Sammy?
Yeah, I think I did.
How'd you do the little love heart?
I think I just pressed my emoji on my phone.
Oh, you done on phone. Yeah, fair enough. All right, next week, I think is going to be a little bit harder to pick.
Oh, very interesting next week.
Yeah, could
Are we going to
go
pump,
anywhere
guys?
now from here? What are we thinking?
Yeah,
think
I
we
reckon
go
we're
up
going
from
to
here?
pump. Yeah, I reckon we're going to pump this week.
43. Do you want to share my chart?
Yes.
So this dump that dumped us down out of this parabola, and keep in mind, I've adjusted this parabola a few times already, so there's nothing godlike about it, other than the fact that it was drawn by me. Anyway, this dump here, someone tweeted out that the actual sale that caused this dump, it was like someone dumped about 300 grand worth of hex at once, a whale. I believe the retweet was just literally just the C word, and so that's what caused that. But look, it's already recovered, and we're back at that level, that resistance back under that resistance level. So I think that should. I think this should. I mean, I'm going to flip this back to red since we're below it, but I think we should be able to recover that. We should be able to absorb that.
What are you on? You're on a 1 hourly chart there, are you, mate?
This is an hourly, yeah. Would you prefer like
the last?
4 hour?
No. Is that the last 2? Is that the last 2 weeks? That's the last 2 weeks or something, is it?
This parabola, well, that was the bottom, the local bottom at just below 10 cents on 15th of March. So yes. That's about 2 weeks of price action. It's gone quick though. It seems to me that it was very recent that we just started this upward run, but actually you're right. It's been 2 weeks. But that's cool. Can I also show you guys total market cap while we're here? Look at this.
Please.
So TD count's only on 6. We've smashed this level here, which not only was a resistance level according to my chart, but it was also a TD setup trend line as well to the downside for shorting. So we've just smashed all that, assuming this is a daily candle. So total market cap of all crypto assets, 2.136 trillion, which just a few days ago, we were struggling to get over 2 trillion. It was, so 2 days ago, we were fluffing around the 2 trillion mark, which is down here, sorry. But now that we've broken through, we've just been on a relentless upward run ever since, which is great. Because obviously crypto market sentiment overall is actually very important.
So there was obviously the big Do Kwon where Terra done a $1 billion buy of Bitcoin. Was that, if I got that right?
Sorry, say again.
That was Do Kwon from Terra Labs. They done a $1 billion buy of Bitcoin. Is that correct? They added that to their.
That's a good point. Yeah, they did that. LFG. They've named the fund the LFG fund, which to me stands for Let's Effing Go, but they're calling it the L Foundation Guard. Yeah. And you're right that not only did they start buying Bitcoin, but they actually announced that they were going to do it, which would have brought a lot of people into front run as well, which I think was deliberate. Otherwise, people aren't dumb. If they wanted to accumulate it with no one knowing, they wouldn't have announced that shit.
Yeah.
So I think that has helped quite a lot. Yeah.
Sorry, someone was saying 10 billion.
What's the
So can I just give a shout out?
What's the Bitcoin versus the rest of the market? Like its prominence. Like how much of that 2 trillion is
good question.
Bitcoin?
I haven't looked at Bitcoin dominance for a really long time. Someone, I won't say who it was because no one in the Hex community likes this person, but that person said that you would expect for Bitcoin dominance to eventually trend negative just from the continual printing of new projects. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this is the chart.
Who said that?
Tone Base.
You love Tone, don't you?
I don't love him, but I also don't dislike him.
Come on, you were talking up how you had a beer with him.
Yeah. When he came to Perth, we hung out like almost every day that he was here.
So you're like best friends.
Well, I wouldn't say that's like being like best friends, but we definitely get along well. Yeah.
Well, you had a friend affair when he was in Perth.
So, I mean, at the risk that people are gonna like make random jokes about this, on his last day here, I took him to the airport and we chilled at his Airbnb until it was time for him to go. Like, so we were actually hanging out quite a bit. Like, obviously just as friends, obviously. Like, so yeah, it was pretty good. Like,
you didn't have any Viagra.
Not friends with benefits, bro.
Both of us were fresh out of Viagra. And so yes, this is the Bitcoin.
Oh my god!
This is the Bitcoin dominance chart, but let's get a higher time frame, right? So this is the daily. So Bitcoin dominance came down here 40%, and it's basically been ranging sideways. So where was this crash? This was May in 21. So it shat the bed from March to May last year, where it went from 60 to 40. And then we've basically been trending sideways ever since.
So do you reckon
You're
we'll
right, though.
skip bear market?
Sorry, go, Sammy.
Sorry. Do you reckon we'll skip the big like horrible bear market, Tangi? If the halving is coming in early 2024, do you reckon there's a good chance Bitcoin could go pretty much sideways until then?
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping it goes up. Like, I don't think we're in a. I was never fully convinced that we were in a prolonged bear market. I never got to that point where I was like, okay, shit, now I'm bearish. I never got there. I was heading towards getting neutral though. Like I was week by week, I was becoming less bullish, but I never flipped bearish. And so this is a bit scary. It looks like a descending triangle is actually forming on Bitcoin dominance.
That's, like you say, that's not necessarily terrible. What that probably indicates is more maturity on everything else.
Yeah, I mean, so Bitcoin dominance can go down while Bitcoin's price goes up. That is actually likely because of what we were saying about all the coins being printed. So you're absolutely right, Jexxa. It's not BTC dominance going down isn't necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah, like you say, you'd expect to see that in a healthy market.
I assume that this dominance calc does not count NFTs.
What's that noise?
I assume that NFTs are actually separate from this.
Is that Unwrecked, is it?
So if you were doing, is he doing like DIY renovations or something? So basically, if you were to include NFTs in this dominance chart, assuming that it's not already, it would be even lower.
Sorry, I tuned off. I was too busy reading Ash's comment about Unwrecked stop pulling one out. Sorry, what did you say, mate?
I said if assuming that NFTs are not included in this dominance calculation, including them would make the percentage much lower.
How does it? Are they included? They'd have to be, wouldn't they?
Why wouldn't they be included?
I don't think they are.
No.
I mean,
that's an.
How would you cap them? Like, how would you
price them?
And we're not talking about just how would you do the calculation. How would you keep it updated live?
Yeah,
like you'd have to have APIs going into freaking like OpenSea and Rarible, looking at recent sales.
It's too early.
A nightmare.
It's too early.
It's
too early to have that sort of we'll get there one day. I think there'll be data on that sort of stuff, but right now it's too early. I mean, they have data on the housing market. Every house is not exactly the same, so they're not.
That's a good
fungible,
point. So I actually don't know.
So I guess
I'm not saying it's not included. I'm just assuming that it isn't for now.
I guess NFT markets are completely an estimate. Hey?
Yeah,
when people say how much that market is worth.
Like floor prices are not a thing. Like that, and the actual prices are not a thing. It's just it's all bullshit. It's all BS.
So with housing markets, you value it more on sales and say how much is sold and for what price over a period of days, months, or whatever you want to do it on. You don't actually look at the market cap of houses.
What people want for their
or you don't look across the housing market and say that's the market cap of the housing houses in
Look
that
at past
area.
that. So you could do that with NFTs as well, theoretically.
Potentially, yeah. And they probably, I'm sure they do have sales figures on that.
Tangent. What do you think about the narrative that right now Bitcoin and Ethereum, like what's going on right now, is a bit of a bull trap?
Oh yeah, I don't agree with that. I have heard people say that. There are people that are in the Hex community that are still bearish and think that this is going to be a dead cat. But so I don't know if I can.
It doesn't feel like it. It doesn't feel like it on the macro, does it?
Yeah, if you look at the
Like
chart from 2018, the 2018
Which is
bear
why I'm
market.
suggesting it.
So I can pull it up if you want. Like,
But the thing is, geopolitically, like, it's just like.
Hey, Unwrecked, thanks for letting
Such a
everyone see what's
different-
on your screen, bro. They're loving that.
It's the Stig. It's not Unwrecked.
all the hackers.
I gotta say
all the hackers
that is
are-
I seen a photo with that helmet the other day, and I thought that was pretty cool. I want one of those just to ride around on my pushy.
It's the Stig.
It's
Anyway.
the Stig.
Not Unwrecked.
It's
So there we go.
definitely
It must be like winding up because I can't really hear you anymore. Like I'm sort of like, okay, faintly in the background, I can realize just the way your voice. I don't know if anyone can hear me. It's like I'm a ghost in the background, like talking to myself.
So you think we've had a good consolidation period at this level, Tangent, and could be ready for another push up?
my main point is that we've been making higher highs and higher lows. So even though they are only subtly higher, it's not the structure that you saw in 2018 where you were actually getting legitimate dead cat bounces. Do you want to 43? Do you want to share my screen again?
Yep.
So basically, I'm
People
going
who
to
don't want to be holding USD.
So here is over here. This was the 2018 bear, or the start of the bear, where we were getting significantly, like a significant down reduction in the highs, which were weaker and weaker over time as these dead cat bounces continued, with a flat floor that eventually just broke through. That floor being at 6K and breaking down to 3K. If you look at the structure that we're getting now, over this year and a half plus of sideways action, we've had a higher high, subtly higher high, and subtly higher lows, like on the large scale. So what about this would make people think that it is similar to, like, these don't look like dead cat bounces to me. This looks like strength.
But by the same token, they don't look like, they just look like they're sort of whatever pumps. You know, they haven't got much to them. They're like they look like they need a bit of Viagra.
But the fact
That's what they look like.
Higher highs and higher lows.
So the question is, who's
going
gonna, like, who will be buying in? Who's going to be buying?
People who don't want to be holding USD because everyone's like just dumping it as a reserve world currency.
People buying in is into Bitcoin, like I guess
into the crypto market, right? Into the crypto market.
The crypto market's going up. It's over 2 trillion now.
The 99% of people who are not already in crypto globally.
You've just had a year of sideways action.
Like the 99% of corporations, individuals, and countries that are not already in.
I'm trying to tease it out. Here. Like so
you reckon we're going into a bear?
I reckon we are still early. I reckon we are all going to make it.
I think we're all going to make it.
I
think we're gonna go down again.
You sound like
at some stage.
Yeah.
And I'm not speaking about Hex. I'm talking about like the other stuff.
Sammy, I think your mic volume is low.
You think we've got a bit of a way to go? 43.
And I think it also, because your mic volume's so low, it ends up that people end up talking over the top of you as well, because then if they don't hear what you're saying,
No, that's because none of us listen to each other.
That's because we're just rude.
We've been really bad this stream. I've noticed. We've all just
we
been talking over each other. We've regressed. We've had a regression session.
Regression session
I
instead of a
can't
compression
believe the
session.
I can't believe the total market cap is over 2 trillion. That's such a lot of money.
Yes.
We went up to 2.9, I think, Sammy.
Really? When was that?
So at the peak of the market, we went to 2.9, didn't we, Tam?
At the all-time high.
Yeah.
Look at the sting.
Love it.
The hex sting.
Stig Carnsey.
Hey, Bloobum, how's America? How's everything over there? You having fun still?
Yeah, it's been an adventure. My credit card stopped working the other day.
What?
Shit.
I was just like out and about in Miami, and then all of a sudden my credit card stops working. And I had to like walk home, and then I had to call my bank, and like, oh man, and then the telephone line was pathetic to Australia, and like, yeah, it's been an adventure for sure.
So,
I had to go get something notarized and all this kind of crap, and like,
really?
Are you going to get a different card? Are you going to go with a different provider? There's a couple of options out there.
Use crypto instead, bro. Go crypto.
I've been trying to use crypto. I've been like going around to ATMs, and they're all deposit only. You can't find an ATM which is like pulling out cash.
So when are you going to move to a better area instead of that Skid Row area?
I'm flying to Colombia next in a bit.
Yeah.
Can I just clarify? I'm not fudding Hex at all. I'm not fudding Hex. I don't think Hex is going sub 10. I just want to make that clear.
No one ever said. None of us said that.
No, but there's
no way
in the chat. I think Hex. I've been saying that I think Hex will pump when the rest of the crypto market dumps. I've been saying that for like 2 years, and I've been wrong for the last year. I'm waiting to be right. I'm waiting.
I saw on the Ledger website, the hardware wallet manufacturer, that they're bringing out a crypto credit card. Do you guys see that?
Oh,
No,
I'd
love
some crypto cards, man.
Yeah.
So you've got the option. I think Binance does cards, CoinJar does cards. If you're in Australia, CoinJar, the Australian cryptocurrency exchange, CoinJar has been around. So I'm pretty sure after Mt. Gox, CoinJar was the next exchange that I used after Mt. Gox. So it has been around literally forever. So if you care about the Lindy effect, CoinJar is trustworthy. I don't know about their fees. They're probably high. But CoinJar does credit cards. Binance does credit cards. Crypto.com does credit cards. Freaking Ledger is bringing one out. Like, you guys should look into that shit. Like, and when I say you guys, I don't just mean us six, the viewers as well.
There was the rip-off project of Hex back in the day. The founder that was, or the person that was Jack, who may or may not work for another company that's launching on PulseChain, put out that they were releasing a credit card, and I can't remember the name. It was something like Connect or something like that. But it was the best one I had seen in the crypto space, but I still don't know whether they got around to launching it. But what it enabled you to do was have one MasterCard and then have multiple sub cards off it. So
and when you say MasterCard, you're not talking about the payment rails. You're talking about
I'm
it's
talking
a
about
MasterCard. Yeah.
It was a MasterCard, and then you would have different sub cards underneath.
Like almost like aliases, like card aliases.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Do you know?
It was really good. I'll have to try and dig it up again.
That MySudo app that I'm using, if you're in America, allows card aliasing. We can't use it over here. It's not available in Australia.
Yeah, what's that? Sudo?
MySudo. MySudo. It's an aliasing app. You download it on your phone, and then you can get like email aliases, phone aliases, credit card aliases. like even like
Credit card alias.
You get that with
only in the
GPay.
States.
You get that.
But just
with
be
GPay,
aware.
though.
Just be
Credit card
aware.
alias.
That is what wrecked my Telegram account, because I changed my phone number to one of these alias numbers, and they obviously identified that it was not a real phone number and just banned me off Telegram. So be careful when you're using those VoIP generated numbers if you care about your account being banned. Like, just be aware of that. But it works, like, as in...
Hey, T-Bird. T-Bird puts a comment here. I'll never use a credit card until I get to the point where I qualify for a black card. You really have to know what you're doing if you operate on debt. Hey, I use a really simple principle in our household.
Just pay it off each month.
You just pay it off each month.
Yep.
So
just pay it off straight away. You just use it as a tool.
It's just a payment deferral. It's like, so I just carry that and then just pay for shit. And then at the end of the month,
there are certain things you need a credit card for. For instance, if I want to get one of those electric scooters over here, or if I want to get Uber Eats or Uber Ride or Lyft for that matter, I have to use a credit card or PayPal. But my bloody PayPal stopped working as well because they want me to confirm with my Australian number, and I can't get text with my Australian number because I've got an American number now.
That is a really good point.
Hey, Tangent, you know how before you were saying about like having that system where we, pump data into the blockchain or whatever. Jexxa, we were having that chat on Telegram earlier about how almost every chat app, like decent chat app, requires you to put a phone number in. So like, can we please have a privacy focused, chat application that does not require your phone number?
I think
once they have your phone number, they have you by the balls.
Yeah, then they know who you are. It's linked to your identity. So I think Bloobum, correct me if I'm wrong if it wasn't you, but I think Bloobum recommended to me this one called Element, which is based on the Matrix protocol, which is so the underlying protocol that does the shit is Matrix. But the front end app is called Element, and it's a secure messaging service that does not, like, you can self-host Matrix on your own server, so then you know that no one can middleman your messages. And it's all open, and Matrix is completely open source, so you could go and check that they can't do it even when you're not using your own server, and then you can have private messaging. The problem again is adoption, right? Like, if all your friends don't use it, then you have to end up fall back to communicating on these insecure rails,
No, that wasn't me. Element.
Oh, okay.
I heard of that. Yeah.
So, Sammy, did you say that you had to head off?
Yeah, I got to get up early tomorrow. So good to see you all. Good to see you, Stig. You guys take care. Have a good week.
Thank you so much.
See you, Sammy.
Sammy.
See you, Sammy.
See ya.
I'll get
See
back to your
everybody.
messages, Sammy. I'll get back
Thank
to your messages
you.
in a minute.
Thank you. See everyone when I can get out of here.
Good night. Just close the window.
Cool. Yeah,
You're gonna rob a bank, Unwrecked.
I love how Unwrecked is just totally doing the city, like basically like just creeping in the corner. Like, what's it called when you just watch what's going on from the
lurking?
Like just lurking. Yeah, just lurking.
So I don't know if everyone's had a quick look at that link that was in the chat for those cards.
Yeah, I did. I did actually.
I don't know if they're it looks like they've come a long way. I don't know whether they're actually available. Like, all the site looks like it's ready to go. But
What's
whether
the
or not
site
they're
again?
issuing them. Put in the chat there, connect.financial. If that's a thing, that'll be pretty cool.
Oh, so it's not. So they don't exist yet. You can't apply for them just yet.
Well, but I checked it. I reckon, geez, it was a good 6 months ago, and I'd signed up and everything, but I couldn't do it. And it says here today, get your cards today. No, so maybe
does
you
it?
can,
No, it says join the wait list.
No, Jesus, still. I don't know why it takes so long to get this stuff to market.
Something that I will tell you guys that needs to be considered is some cards. So I'll just give you 2 examples. On crypto.com, you have your crypto sitting in the wallet and then you convert it into dollars as a lump sum. And then when you spend the card, it's spending dollars.
Yeah.
And then other cards, it converts it at the time of purchase. So the pros and cons are that the at time of purchase one means you get to hold your value in crypto for longer and only spends when absolutely necessary. So theoretically, you can be exposed to the price appreciation, assuming that it's going up. But the disadvantage is that from a taxable event point of view, you could end up, depending on your jurisdiction, many taxable events for every single little thing that you purchase. And then the converse is true for the other card, that you have less taxable events, but you're not exposed. You're not actually holding crypto anymore because you've lump sum sold your crypto into dollars waiting to be spent on the card. So
you already paid tax. You pay GST on all of your. So you've already paid tax on the goods and services, because it's all goods and services, really, isn't it?
No, it's capital gains. Like so I'm talking about, this is the you're using crypto to pay for things. So each time you convert to, so again, depending on your jurisdiction, each time you convert crypto into dollars. Yeah. Whether it's for a purchase at the time or whether it's in preparation for a purchase, it can be classed as a capital tax event. Obviously, see your financial advisor, blah, 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 blah. But I'm right. Like, it's...
Hey guys, we've been going for about 2 hours and 20
2 hours
minutes.
20.
Any last words, Bluey? Hello, sugar tits.
Yeah, we need some ways of like turning crypto into fiat that are easier for sure.
Yeah, but
that's
they're
what
always
I'm looking into now.
Do you mean Hex specifically?
They're tough, mate.
Yeah. No, I'm not selling my Hex, but like, you know.
Well,
you've got to have,
it's outperforming every market.
My credit card not working.
It's outperforming all markets.
My credit card not working has made me realize. Yeah, my credit card not working has made me realize how like, if you don't have a credit card, you're kind of like really fucked.
If you're overseas, you should have more than one.
That's what I should have done.
And you should also have like one that's at least one or two, maybe even like have four, like one that's like Master, one that's Visa, one, different.
Louis, you're
mitigating the institutional risk by having different banks.
But the thing is though, you also have to but guys, you also have to embrace adventure, and you also have to it's not going to all be comfortable. It's going to be, you're going to be in precarious situations as well, and you're going to have to deal with that shit. That's part of it as well.
Yeah. Just don't leave yourself short of cash, and you end up in a precarious situation you don't want to be in, mate.
Bluey,
let's just remind everyone that Richard Hart will be on the stream in 3 or 4 hours.
Hell yes! I'm going to go and get a coffee. I'm getting jacked.
Another coffee.
I'm going to get a coffee. Hit the gym.
Breather, then, aren't we? And then it's off to the track. Yes.
Little bit of shadow boxing ready for the haters. So anyway, Bluey, one strategy that Tone Vase uses when he travels is he just hits up his community or whatever. So you could hit up all the hexagons and be like, yo, is there anyone who will trade me
some cash for crypto,
local currency in cash for a non-hex crypto, like so say like ETH or whatever the shit. Like it doesn't really matter. And then you can,
man. Be fucking careful.
No, but
protect your purchasing.
There's also local bitcoins.
You wouldn't go and do it in like the hex.com chat where there's like literally 30,000 people. But if it was someone who you've met them on stream or something like that, if it was a handle that you kind of can trust, But yeah, I mean, day 43 is right. But then the way you mitigate that is don't tell them you're going to be doing like 40 grand. Just be like, oh, it's just do like a grand or two. So it's like not even worth them jacking you for or whatever. Like you get what I mean? Like, I think the people that have been like kidnapped and tortured and shit like that have been like people trying to do like large scale OTC trades. If you're like, I need a little bit of spending money because my credit card doesn't fucking work. Can someone hook me up with like a grand or two? I don't think anyone's going to like orchestrate an Ocean's 11 style heist to kidnap
is
you.
horoscope for men.
No, dude. It's gonna be like a baseball bat heist. It's
meet
like
in a public place, like a cafe or something like that, where there's like security cameras and shit like that. There's ways to mitigate it. Like,
I'm being told to end the stream now. Why the fuck do I need to end the stream? No. I'm being told by Ash.
Oh, by
chat.
hang on.
Someone in the chat's telling me that I don't have to end the stream now, dude. Like, my reaction,
we've had enough.
My natural instinct is to not end the stream now because I'm being told I have to end the stream now. That's like my contrarian instinct.
You've triggered him, Ash. You've triggered him.
How to keep that 43 on stream. Tell him to stop.
Tell me I have to get off. Meanwhile, if my wife walks around the corner and says get off, I'll be off in like 30 seconds. Dude. I'm gonna wind this shit up right now. Fucking wind that shit up. Yeah. Hey, last words.
My last words is bitch tits of the week, bitch.
Bitch tits of the week.
Oh, and just respect
Hex for the win.
Respect the logo, respect the vibe, respect the community, respect each other, and respect Richard's massive PP and furry nutsack. That's the
that's the message.
Congratulations to all those winners out there. We just keep smashing the lights out, knocking into the prom queen after one after another, all the way through. That's the Hex chart. Just go and have a look. Show me where it hurt you. But if you want high interest at a discount, now's the time to buy. And yesterday was the time to stake. So get those Hex stakes into the system because that's where it's at. And yes, from there you can explore the whole crypto sphere. And this is the Hex Late Show, day 43. It's been wonderful.
It's been lovely. Hey, I'll just address this. Dudes can't say no to their ladies if their lives depend on it. Real nice. I don't know if that's being sarcastic or what, but I can't say no to my wife. I can't say no to her because, I live with her, so I know what's good for me.
A good woman like that, hang on to it. Don't let
All right,
it go.
guys. Let's wrap it up. Thanks to everyone in the chat. We love you, and we'll see you next week. Peace.
See you guys.